Pfeildorf should still be fine, right? That's not a bug map,
Yeah,
is it?
I
All right.
think so. It should be fine, I think.
Pretty sure this map works.
Alrighty, and in that case, I am ready in the time that you are also ready.
0 gold. Let's do it.
0 bit.
Dang, take one of my 2 gold.
Oh my god.
Battle of Hard Camp. Very well,
Wait.
never mind.
Wait, what happened?
Duh.
Who... Does someone not have the map? Alright. Can we, just same armies? Friendly agreement? Uncle Gan?
Oh, yeah, this map. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I don't want to play on this one. Let's just play, like, ones we know that work. Was this Faldorf?
Yeah, this was Pfeildorf.
Wait, did you just play on this one or something?
No.
Yeah, I don't want to play on this shit. The water.
Alright, just
I mean, we
when
could.
you exit out.
It's up. We could. I don't really want to. But... What do you want to do?
Oh, we can just go to a different map. Yeah, I'm not really quite a fan of this one.
I'm not a big fan of this map either.
Alright, it's just when you exit out, close your eyes and wait for the loading screen back into the lobby to go.
I will tell you guys when you can open them.
Sounds good.
Man, one of my buddies is going to be playing at next Adepticon. He said he wants to do some Warhammer 40k tournaments there. Pretty excited. I might dip in on that. Once I get my Raven Guard army, I'll set up. Play some sneaky beaky boys.
Alright, you win.
Close them.
Whoa, you got before me? I
remember I had to hit continue, so I blocked the right side of the screen.
Alright, which map?
I saw nothing.
Let's do
another open wide one, because that's what you guys had
Hammer.
before. Yeah, that's a good one. Open and wee-eyed.
You don't tell me what to do.
Yo, mom.
Yeah, how dare you?
I will have terrible luck and be miserable for it, and I'll like it.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
They're like, you're not my dad.
Listen.
Whoa.
Are you hearing things? Because I'm not. Wow. I can't wait to the DLC announcement's gonna come out like so soon. Does it mean it's not gonna actually come out for like another week? They'll just be showing it off this at the Everchosen?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna do the old show it off at the Everchosen and then it releases afterwards thing.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think.
I just hope they don't use it in the tournament. They did last time.
They're going
I
to.
didn't like that either.
They're doing it.
No one knows what they're doing.
No, they're doing it. They said they are. They said you'll be previewing it at Everchosen for the tournament, and I guarantee they're either gonna have like intermission matches where they'll do like showing it off, which would be fine, or they're just gonna have people playing it during it, which is gonna suck because it's probably gonna be unbalanced and fucking stupid.
Yeah,
which is
it's kind of
exactly what the problem started with Queen and the Crone when they had like Halibron in the tournament and she was broken as all hell.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And Dov Plays was like super pissed because she basically has endless spirit leech going on before they fixed her on everything around her. It was so bad. She just melts things. But yeah, it was rough.
All right. I am ready when you are.
Yeah, what's up, Falcon? XMT Training Camp.
Oh, you're streaming this?
Training champ? Yeah.
Wait, how long have you been streaming it for?
I just started.
Okay, good. Let me know.
Yeah, no, I just started before you guys loaded this stuff up.
Chat, you know.
No, yeah.
Wanna be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking asshole.
You're welcome. That ninja stuff. Yeah, Falcon, you missed out, but I started up a training camp, like round robin bracket for XMT members. Not everyone's playing it, but a good chunk. I think 13 people, myself included. And it's just like best of threes where everyone will play everyone that's in it. And they're on your own time kind of thing. So it's just a fun way to kind of experiment, try new stuff, practice against like fellow clanmates. And you know, have a little bit of competitive fun with each other.
We don't like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, just go touch yourself, jeez.
Yeah, sorry I'm taking forever here, Gant.
Just started and just in time. Yep. Yeah, I played Gant, and that was a good one. And now Wick is gonna play him, and then I think Halcon played Zutron already, and
I'm ready
I think
when
he
you
won
are,
that
sir.
one.
Alrighty.
Sweet, dude. I hope you come back soon. Maybe in 2 days. Awesome. We miss you, Felkoff. I like the armies. I think, I'm very curious to see how the Death Hag's gonna do. I'm actually just gonna switch chats so I can actually commentate on this. Alright. So Gant's playing some Dark Elves, bringing his Dark Riders in. Getting some good free charges on 8-peak loonies. I don't know if I would have charged the Goblins. They're kind of taking a little more damage than they probably need to. Dark Riders. Probably could have gone more for rear charges, try to get into the Savage Orcs, go for a charge that way. But I definitely see this Doom Diver picking up a nice chunk of funds. He's gotten some really, really good shots on some of these Dark Riders. Not really getting any there, but Death Hag's got smoke bombed. Nasty Skulkers immediately terror routed. Wow, that's really rough. It's one thing I really don't like with like Nasty Skulkers is I'm noticing that they route a lot. So if they're not in like a very supported position, they just kind of run away very quickly. Doom Diver shots coming in here. Oh, not bad. Did a little bit of damage on the Rusty Airs there with that. Wah going off. I'm liking Malekith on the Dragon. He doesn't really have anything that can really shut him down very well. It's fairly safe there. Trolls doing a good job supporting. Bleak Swords aren't going to last very long, so they're going to end up crumbling out pretty quick. Big cav engagement going on in the back. Dark Riders all trying to dip out of there because the Broken Tusk Mob and Orc Boy Biggins are stirring up quite the storm. Goblins and Nasty Skulkers supporting. So left flank looking really good. Right side we have Raven's Herald trying to dump some shots in. Doing a lot of damage to the Night Gobbo Shaman. Doom Diver Catapult's not really going to get shut down very quickly by those guys, but some of the Savage Orc Airboys are turning about to do some skirmishing to them. Very, very nice. They should do a pretty good job of putting some hurt on these guys. His Night Gobbo Shaman should do the gaze into the Raven's Herald because that actually kills like a lot of models. Fireball does the same thing. But yeah, oh, never mind. Gaze is going down on Malekith. Ooh, doing a nice chunk of damage. Scarsnick trying to get in there, and Rusty Air is helping to provide some of that armor debuff on him. Not bad at all. Trolls and Gobbos coming in with the Nasty Skulkers to kind of get a little bit of an envelopment here. Malekith's in a pretty shitty spot. He's going to be having some trouble getting out of this engagement because the Trolls are bogging him down. Some of the Dark Rider cav trying to support, but he's kind of getting stuck in an envelopment. He is managing to wade his way out with the Dark Rider support here. Kind of tying up these Boar Biggins. Death Hag, not doing bad. Kills, yeah, she's at 89 kills, 90 kills. Doing a pretty solid job. I kind of like that. Phys resist and magic resist, making her pretty immune to, like, the spell snipes that you tend to see coming out of greenskins nowadays. So looking pretty good. Scar Snake, though, taking a lot of damage. K-Knight Assassin doing solid work. Ooh, what was that? I forget. Blade Wind, something like that? And the Rusty Airs, wrecking them. Absolutely wrecking them. Raven's Herald do rally, and they are coming back, so that's not bad. Wow. I think Wick's Blob right here just kind of backfired on him. He's doing a really great job of focusing Malekith down, taking a lot of HP damage down to 1600, and dropping very, very quickly from all the skirmish fire. Holy crap. However, Scarsnake did take a ton of damage and get terrified out, so this could be tough. Death Hag is pushing through to try and take down the Rusty Airs and whatnot, but I don't know. Some of the greenskin troops, of course, rallying in the background. A lot of goblins, some trolls. Their chaff troops coming back in. Dark Riders trying to get some good charges in. But yeah, Malekith's kind of pinned at the moment. He is getting some heals, but he's stuck in there against like a lot of the anti-large. Oh man, and that gaze comes in. Wow, manages to slip out with 446 HP left. What a save. But the Gabo Big Boss is back, so that's going to help provide a little bit of a leadership buff, as well as the Night Gabo Shaman being there. Maybe Scarsnake comes back. He's kind of stabilizing a little bit, but he's not in too great a spot. 112 HP left on him, so he's going to want to keep him out of there and just provide some HP or some leadership. Did rally. But yeah, Malekith trying to dip right out of there and stay out of the fight so he doesn't get hit with the leadership penalty from his lord being dead. However, that does leave the Death Hag in a pretty bad position of getting absolutely focused down by all of this archer fire. And it is very, very rough. Smoke Bomb going down, keeping her stuck in this pile of goblins who are doing a lot more damage than you would expect them to because of the armor debuff from the Rusty Airs. So she is melting very, very rapidly. Trolls coming in, and that's going to provide some support, some bodies to stop the Dark Riders from getting into the Savage Orc Arrow Boys. K-Knight Assassin onto some Trolls. And Scarsnake does come back yet again with 7 HP left. But yeah, that's army losses. Yeah, very good game. I like the armies a lot. I'm pretty impressed with the Death Hag, picking up 187 kills. I really, really like that. I think maybe if he had gone, like, not Malekith. I think Malekith did a pretty solid job with, like, Terror and whatnot. But I think if he had, I don't know, just a little bit more width, I think he would have been okay. Or drop the K-Knight Assassin, maybe. I don't know. But he did a really good job of putting a hell of a lot of damage on his lords. The problem in the end was just that, like, the Savage Orc Arrow Boys and the Rusty Airs really clinched that for him. They just came back and started providing a lot of skirmish fire and support, and then the trolls were coming back in. Doom Diver never really got shot down. He racked everything else, though. Just archer fire providing that debuff and whatnot for the goblins. It was tough.
Get off.
Man, GG, guys.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I like that army. I was really impressed with the Death Hag. I was really curious how she was going to do, and she did awesome.
That's what we said. I was just
Yeah.
like, damn, that Death Hag almost...
25% missile resistance, 25% magic resistance. It's really hard to gaze. It takes a lot of magic for that.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think that was pretty cool. It was a fun pick. I was hoping to see how the gaze would affect Raven's Herald, but you didn't use it on him at all, which, I mean, was fine. You were nuking Malekith, but Fireball does a ton of damage to, like, Hippo Knights and Raven's Heralds, and it kills the models. So I'm curious to see if the gazes would have done the same thing, where it just kind of rips through them and knocks a couple down at a time.
Were you overcasting it a lot?
Yes, I was.
Was the caster at half health almost exclusively because of overcast damage?
That's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, I had Circlet of Iron. It makes it a guaranteed miscast.
Oh, right. Okay, that's probably why.
Thanks, Shidoku. Yeah, I'm rocking the man meat right now. Got the wife beater on, just kind of having a lazy day. Jealous of my girlfriend. Thanks, babe. Appreciate you. You like my nerdy ass Warhammer tattoo I have?
I think if I'm going this relatively narrow, it might have been better to have Malekith on like a cold one chariot.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like before I hop back in, I think Malekith being on the dragon, like it worked out well in the blobs because the terror, but I think in the end, it's just like you just didn't really have enough bodies to wrap up the archers, and they
And I
just kind
didn't
of
really
sealed
get
the
a good
deal.
chance to utilize the breaths either, so it wasn't really worth that
Yeah,
as well.
Do you know what I like actually in this? I like Malekith. This is like one of the few matchups. I like Malekith on a dragon, and I like the Chilla Santar.
I think Chill Soundtar can be fun. I like the Death Hag.
Yeah.
I think you could stick with the Death Hag, and it did really well for like the wide builds.
I love Orc Arabas, the Savage ones and the regular ones.
Yeah.
Just like they're like stronger Lathered Sea Guard against infantry, basically. And the trolls, I thought the trolls did really well. Like you can go wider and just bring trolls to smash like any frontline shooters if they have like stuff.
Yeah, the trolls I was just gonna have to leave for a terror route.
Yeah. Just like a little bit of mass.
How did
I
the
don't
Canine
think I
Assassin do?
utilized the Assassin's Black Lotus as well as I could have.
Oh, the Black Dragon Egg?
No, the Black Lotus, it grants him the Discourage
Oh, that's
effect.
the Discourage thing. Okay. Oh, you're trying to mix that with the Death Hag.
Yes. And then-
Yeah, I was wondering why my whole army just terror.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
blob
so I had
just
Web of
left.
Shadows, and so I would have Web of Shadows to deal damage, which would proc a leadership debuff from taking a large amount of damage. Then Discourage, the -16, that should put them instantly into the terror routable mark. Then I was going to try to clean up quickly with Dark Riders. And essentially leave you with half an army to deal with the dragon.
I like one cold one night in this matchup just in case
I was-
you go spider.
I was definitely thinking about that between that and the Raven's Herald.
Destroyer was a pain in the ass because I couldn't use my smoke bombs.
Yeah, that was my plan because when it comes to flyers, the greenskins are very magic dependent.
Yeah, flyers.
Malekith-
Oh yeah,
Malekith
and usually
just-
like that's why Wurzag's probably like a good choice for effigy because then you can just like shoot them up with the archers is really the best way to deal.
I think the Raven's Herald was unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too after I used them.
They just took a little too much focus fire, and with like AP missiles like that, you didn't really have a good target.
No, yeah,
You were
that
shooting
was
with Doom Diver, I think, and I was like shooting it back with the orcs. And the Doom Diver was actually the Doom Diver was there for two things: just to A, make you move forward, and B, was to put damage on cavalry, like Cold One Knights if you had any, so they rampage, or put them on like even sisters or something like that.
Yeah, I was hoping that, I mean, they would at least get through the crew quite fast enough, but I should have, if I was going to do that, I should have focused the Arrow Boys first instead of going all in on the Terror Bomb first.
Yeah.
And I should have, yeah.
But Chilla Santar is actually a really good matchup because then, as long as you can get to the back lines to shut down the orcs, like I would even like a cold one chariot could be good. But that's why I brought the trolls too. Was like if he has chariot, they have mass there to stop them, along with in the back like the orc boy biggins.
I liked it. I think both builds had really good merit.
Yeah.
Uncle Gant, you pick next.
Yep.
Miss your pick ban.
Meow.
Meow.
Isn't the cat picture hilarious?
Dude, the cat is fantastic.
I think its face is just, I don't know, man.
Whipping out them counts. What you banning?
I'm gonna keep banning Norska.
Okay.
I just don't want that matchup.
I like would not bring Norska, but okay. Alright, I'm gonna go Dark Elves. I'm gonna go to the bathroom too first.
Nope, I'm banning that as well. Banning that.
Ban the bathroom. Yeah, I think if you didn't have the Raven's Herald, and you had like maybe a few more infantry or something, I think you would have been in a good spot because they just didn't really have a target or get used.
Yeah, something with just
Really
a
take
little more
anything
burst
out.
hitting power to really help trigger those terror routes.
Yeah. Because yeah, at the end you just didn't really have enough left to wrap up like those archers, and they just were focusing down the last targets.
Yep.
What are you talking about, Falcon? No one's min-maxing. Everyone's testing out their builds and just finding stuff they like. Dude, I love the Frost Phoenix. I don't know what you're talking about with Frost Phoenix being some sort of meme pick or something. I actually like it a lot.
Who?
Yeah, Raven Heralds are fine. They're not bad by any means. I just think for what he was facing in that match, they just didn't really have a good place.
Yeah, I just needed to switch up my target priorities enough to make them really be able to be utilized.
Good pick against greenskins? Yeah, I can see it being useful. Just with the build style that he was going with, they didn't really have the best place to be. I really want to see how the gazes for Raven's Herald. I wonder if they'll kill like multiple models, or if because it's like weaker and it isn't like a single like I don't know, single entity spell like Fireball is, if it just like stops at the target or if it cuts through, because Fireball just flies like straight through the formation and drops like 4 models. It's really brutal. It does the same thing for like Pegasus Knights. Craps on them.
You're a model.
I am a model. Just kidding. That's Lotus Moon. Lotus the Spoon.
Lotus Spoon. Wait, what the hell? Oh. I was like, why isn't this grayed out? Alright, this is not quick battle.
Gant's out here fighting for his life.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Almost ready. No idea if this will actually work or not. We'll find out.
Interesting. You'll keep me as the top radio. I like it. Thanks, dog. Appreciate you, boo boo.
Oh wait, map. You're on a different map.
Yeah, good call. You pick. I'll let you know if it's bugged or not.
Let's see here. It's which one is Ashen? Ashen, I remember not being too bad.
No, it's a pretty good map.
Session bugged? It might be.
Okay. Which one was Longwell? Oh, that's on this one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do this one.
Okay. Well, good luck, guys. BRB.
BRB.
Alright. Switch Discord channels. We can talk about their stuff while it's happening. It's gonna be Dark Elves versus Counts. And Uncle Gant is a very good Counts player. It's easily his best faction. But I'm curious to see what they're gonna come up with for this one. But for like the training camp, like Ernie bracket thing, It's not like there's no prize pools or anything crazy. It's just kind of like an incentive to get people to play each other and experience different play styles, try new builds. Nothing too like, I don't know, stereotypical meta stuff. Like, kind of go out on a limb, try something different. Then we can talk about it afterwards, see what we thought, how it worked, how didn't it work. Fun way to switch things up. So I saw Wick's build, and I like most of it. I don't know how I feel about the 2 Corsairs with handbows, because I feel like it's very possible that they're just going to get swamped and not be able to use their ammunition, because they don't really have long range. So I'm curious to see how those are going to work out. I like everything else, though. I like the Blackguard, I like the Spears. Heylow and I are good. Sisters of Slaughter, and then the Singing Doom, of course, very good. Do really well against all the chaff. He can try and rampage if he goes Terrorgeist or has Cav. It's kind of similar to like what you would expect out of a high elf, kind of like box minus ranged, like Sisters of Slaughter, or Sisters of Avalorn, excuse me. Instead he has like 2 handbows. But yeah, again, with only 70 range, I don't know how that's gonna work. Got Marathi and the Death Hag. Both on foot, not bad. I like Alarielle on foot against counts just because if they try to go the snipey route, it's hard to take her out. Really tough to hit. Death Hag can be very good as well. He's definitely got good sources of rampage. Poison as well. So, curious, very curious. But for Gant over here, we are going to be seeing Isabella von Karstein in the air with a Vampire Lore of Shadows. Going to be rocking Malkos and Enfeebling Foe. Should be very, very useful against the Blackguard. Got Zombie Summons, Dance Macabre, and Invocation. Some Foulbats and some Vargeist as well to provide some of that air mobility. His infantry is all Graveguard, the Stearnsman, and then he's going to also have the Dire Pack and some Black Knights with Lances. And then he's going to have Corpse Cart as well as a Vargulf. He's going to have a Necromancer on foot. What is the Necromancer rocking? Necromancer is going to just have the, what's it called? I really hate trying to fucking fiddle with this shit. I don't fucking know. Her little AoE heal things and her magic generation. Yeah, very curious how this is going to go. It could be rough. Sisters of Slaughter will do well. They should be able to do okay against the Graveguard. But again, the Blackguard Corsairs with handbows, I feel like are going to get very swamped. They're probably going to get run down by like the Vargulf. Black Knights are probably going to do some cycle charging. And if he's not able to stop the Black Knights and the Vargulf very effectively, then that's really dangerous for his like sisters. Hopefully the Witch Elf, or the Sisters of Slinging Doom and the Death Hag can try and cause some rampage, but like already his formation is kind of getting a little blocky here because he's trying to ward out all of this mobility. Gets a little volley in with the Black Arcs, but yeah, it barely does any damage. Doing okay. Didn't kill any models though. I don't know. We shall see if he can get some good damage out of these guys. Hellburn pushing to the back flank, kind of shuffling about. Gant very casually moving up with his infantry line. Yeah, Dark Elf's definitely going to win the infantry fight, but again, there's zombie summons and rear charging, some terror. They're just kind of squaring up. You can see Gant moving in for the envelopment. Going to go for a charge right off the bat with the Vargulf, who is going to do a decent little bit of damage and immediately run off. Yeah, Dire Pack coming in on the Dread Spears, followed up by a nice charge from the Black Knights. Not bad, doing pretty solid job. Gets them unbraced and then goes in for that charge. Pretty effective, did a lot of damage there, but Blackguard coming in, so he's quickly dipping out of that fight. Marathi getting a little ahead of herself here, pushing up pretty far. Dread Spears moving up to engage the Stearnsman. But this air goon squad is looking very dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a zombie summon here. Oh, diving straight in. Interesting. I probably would have gone for the zombie summon and just like boxed in both of these units of Blackguard Corsairs. But Enfeebling Foe goes down, Scroll of Leeching to reduce the power rate, and he is going for that nuke. He's diving right in on Marathi. Trying to get that quick and early kill. But the Vargeist are rampaging, Graveguard are rampaging, and if he's not careful, his Lords are all going to end up rampaged. Oh no. Yep, Vampire Lore Shadows gets hit with the Rampage. If Isabella gets rampaged as well in here, that could be game over. Because that Vampire isn't getting out of this fight, and she's going to end up dead pretty quickly. But Corsairs are running about trying to get some damage done onto these Black Knights. And yeah, Isabella, very, very wise move, pulling her out of there once he realizes that his Shadowcaster is rampaged. Because she's not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, maybe. The Sisters of the Singing Doom do pull out of there, so the Rampage could wear off, and it does. So a good pickup for him. I probably would have stayed committed if I was Wick, because he's got this Goon Squad going in, and the Sisters are the only thing that's going to keep him on the ground. And yep, he dives them right back in. So good move there. Unfortunately, Blackguard pretty piled in, but very, very nice. The Doombolt goes down on Isabella, doing a nice chunk of damage. Zombies there summoned in, but they're going to get cleaned up pretty quick. Vampire of Shadows is trying to dip out of there. Vargulf does get hit with the Rampage, though, so he's going to be stuck sitting in combat. Very, very even so far on the balance of power. But again, yeah, you see the Blackguard handbows out here just getting kind of run down by Black Knights and the Dire Pack. They're not really going to get much effective firing done. They're probably going to end up routed here and possibly chased off by the Dire Pack. The other unit does have a lot of ammo left, and they're putting some nice work into the Vargulf, doing a nice little bit of volleys, but Black Knights again going to be coming in and mopping these guys up a bit. So not the best spot. The blob is real, though. It's pretty thick. Got all of the Blackguard here in the fight. Fortunately, the enemy Lord is dead. So Gant does end up losing his Von Karstein Lord because she got stuck in this big blob and hit with the Rampage, and the Vampire Lord of Shadows is out here trying to cycle charge around on Marathi, getting that Enfeebling Foe, and he's bringing the Dire Pack in to try and tie her down, but Helleburnai moving out to try and intercept as the Vampire tries to escape. It's looking pretty good for Wick right now. Losing his Lord was a really, really tough break. I don't know. Gant loses the ability to summon as well as invocate, and I think that's going to pretty much spell the end. He doesn't have the ability to do the grind fight that would be required to try and take down all these Blackguard. And he does have the Necromancer around still, which isn't bad because she does have the ability to provide more of that wins, but all he has left is the Vampire Lord of Shadows, who's in the air and diving back in with only 470 HP. So going after Marathi again, he has Enfeebling Foe down. I don't think it's going to happen. This Vampire, if anything, needed to stay in the air, but the balance just keeps tipping further and further, and he just doesn't have the means to grind it out. Not going to be able to take down the Blackguard. These guys are way, way too healthy. And yeah, the bolt goes down, and yeah, it crumbles. Well played, well played. So definitely good build from Wick here. Very nice. Just like pretty much all melee. The Blackguard did okay. It kept the cavalry from just cycle charging the blob the whole time. So I mean, it worked well as a distraction. They got some good shots in on the Vargulf and did a decent amount of damage. One of them picked up 2 chevrons. The other one didn't. 7 and 6 kills. So I mean, take it as you will. They did okay dealing with some of the unarmored monsters, helping to provide some of that damage, but all in all, like, Sisters of the Singing Doom, super, super useful here. Carried pretty hard, rampaging his lords whenever he needed them, and he tried to bring them in to take out Marathi, which was very, very bad. Isabella just needed to stay in the air for most of that, and if anything, maybe the Vampire Lord Shadows, because it's not as needed. But Isabella going down and not having any invocations and summons available for the zombies just, like, was not an option. And unfortunately, that's what happened. What's up, Halcon? We'll hop back in by these guys.
Around me.
Well, hello there.
Hey.
Yeah, I just kept spamming the summons to...
Because you played,
down
like,
the
right
blob.
into my hands, basically.
We talking about the lords getting rampaged by the sisters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Like I think he could have won that. Like he even got Isabella out the first time if he had just like surrounded me. Because I popped up.
I wasn't. Well, the thing is, I wasn't expecting you to just death blob right away.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know it was gotta kill the vampire lord if you can.
Yeah, getting Isabella stuck in there was really rough.
Got him out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as she came in again and she got rampaged. But
that
I was like,
basically
I was
then.
scrambling. I mean, you got into my archers, and they were like they were supposed to be the burst damage to kill the Vargolf, and like the Vargolf was doing. I mean, you almost had Marathi there, like she was getting pretty wrecked. But
yeah, because the thing, yeah. This is just because of my presets using nothing but a separate lord every time. This is the one that I decided to try Isabella with. And like two vampires are very efficient character assassins.
Yeah.
Assassins. It's just if I had actually gone with my gut and brought any sort of damage spell.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't stick with what's it called, the pendulum or whatever.
Yeah, Eddie the Purple Sun, he likes put his shades too. Like any of that shit would have wrecked me, but
yeah, it would have been brutal.
You know? I mean, I'm not so sure I'm sold on the Death Hag, to be honest. I almost wish I had either a K-Knight Assassin or another, just some more infantry, even another Witch Elf potentially. That Rampage is so strong. But yeah, GG's.
Yeah, because I mean, with the current meta, it's not really the frontline vampire troops that you're gonna be worried about. It's the things that'll either be cycle charging, in which case the melee attack reduction doesn't help too much on charge damage.
Yeah.
Hey, move! I'm not shirtless. I'm wearing a wife beater.
You don't need to min max. You guys need to play and win with your little beams all day long.
Yeah.
I think single player Isabella is kind of a meme, personally.
I liked it. I just think, yeah, getting your casters into the like rampage was pretty much the nail in the coffin, because then you lost all your utility with like the spells and stuff to like grind it out.
Yeah, but I mean, I also couldn't. I was kind of hoping for the good RNG to get Marathi out of the way early.
Yeah.
Because I mean, any amount of the spells Marathi can put out really punishes a blob a lot harder than I could. No, I should have just done what I wanted and brought
you know,
a spell of any kind.
I was like totally expecting. I mean, I'm kind of a big risk, big reward type player. Like I will go, and if I see your lord landed in there, which I didn't think Isabella was at first, but when she landed in there, I was just like, everyone like converge on her, because I just know that you have to do that. The longer that she stays around, like just summoning around the edges, I feel like would have been rough. And I actually think against that build, I think a black coach would be good, to be honest. Or like another Vargol. Because I think you can just tie down, if you can. I don't know if you saw in the beginning, I was like moving every single unit like constantly, shuffling them around, trying to like mirror your movements. And just because I knew like, okay, if I just let them sit statically, you're just gonna like pick your summons and tie them down. And I know from playing elite builds recently that if you do not get the engagements you need, then you easily lose the battle.
Truth.
At least that's my logic.
Dutron, you trying to do another best of 3 with someone?
I could do.
Because we got Gant and we have Wick here. And there's me as well, but currently I'm streaming.
Amber wants to play you.
Oh, yeah, that. I can do that.
Up to you.
Do that quick.
Yeah, okay. You want me to tell her?
Sure. I have a lobby up with my name and password is 0.
Yeah, I feel like Marathi on foot is a common enough occurrence to maybe go with the double flying lord or the assassin goon squad, and just bring something to punish infantry blob when they try to defend it.
Yeah, I don't even think you need the wind spells, to be honest. I think if you had like an enfeebling foe there, or even Spirit Leech, Zutron. I think if you had like enfeebling foe or Spirit Leech, oh hello, can you get a spectator slot?
Yeah.
Thanks. I think like I think the Necrarch Vampire Lord's pretty good there, to be honest. I think you should lose the Vargeist. And if you're gonna bring a Vargeist in that matchup, I'd bring.
Yeah, Vargeist are a lot better in the wider builds, where I can just get a rear charge on the fringes.
Wait, Heylow, you had a spectator?
Yeah, I have one.
Weird, I don't see it. Is the lobby bugged?
Shouldn't be.
Whatever. I can't. Oh, there we go. That was very bizarre. Again, if you want to practice that matchup, I definitely would like to play it Sport because I don't know if my build is particularly great per se. I've just been fortunate in the past to play Lords Witch Elf.
Doesn't have any mass though, does it?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, but you use the Witch Elves to prevent the like cycle charging. I think Blood Knights could have been pretty good there. I think though, I think the Vargulf is not bad. I think the Vargulf actually did a lot of damage to Marathi. I think some Blood Knights would be decent there, and just trying to think what you can use aside from summons to tie down the Witch Elves. I almost want to go 2 Witch Elves in that matchup instead of the Death Hag, because the Rampage is just so important against the Lord. Nice to see you go elites, is what you said. Yeah, I mean, that's like kind of a build that I've used close to it. Dark Elves against Vampire counts, because Blackguard are really good at that, I feel like. What was on the Vampire and the Necromancer?
Necromancer was just a battery. The Vampire had Mystifying Miasma and Enfeebling Foe.
So you had Mystifying Miasma, Enfeebling Foe, and then Raised Dead and Invocation.
On Isabella, I had Raised Dead, Invocation, and Van Hals.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's a lot of spells.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where like a kite army would really tear that smaller army apart, so I gotta bring the Mystifying to help to catch Skirmisher Cav one by one.
I see what you're saying.
And then the Van Hells and Enfeebling Foe is just the 1/2 KO punch for Lords when you got 2 heroes that have really high melee attack.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Necrarch, or not Necrarch, the Lamian might have been another good pick there. She has everything, and I almost feel like you don't want to land your... Like, Isabella seems good because of her heal, but I feel like you don't really want to land your... So strictly have Witch Elves. So, like, you're going to end up flying around most of the battle, if that makes sense. I'd be so worried. Like, you have to expect Witch Elves in that, I feel like. And I don't know, I would not want to... I don't think I'd want to fight the Vampire counts, per se. I'd rather just...
Yeah, since the Dark Elves don't really have Parthian shot.
Yeah, it'd be like... I don't know.
Pursued.
Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, you can, I guess. You could, but I don't know.
So be it!
Per se.
Chaos Marauders! Yes, lad! Chaos Marauders!
So you going up against Zutron first?
I'm playing Iron Thunder.
Oh, you're playing Iron Thunder?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna...
Give me about half an hour, I'll come back.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. I'm watching Heylow play Amber right now. But yeah, I'm down to play again afterwards.
Yeah, sure. I've got all night, so.
For the Chaos Gods!
And no cigarettes. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
Yes!
Man, I feel that nicotine is a hell of a drug.
Now is our time!
Oh yeah, Heylow, I forgot to mention that
Marauder
she
Horseman!
doesn't usually wait for you
Very
to
well.
be ready.
I can see that. That's okay.
Yeah. I think I need to say something there. Hey.
I don't mind.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying when I'm setting up so slow. What is this build?
Very good. Interesting. Where is everything else?
Good move. It was a good move to detach that crew. Definitely not to blow that shit up. Good. Nice dodge. Didn't really hit much.
Lead us to mortals! We want their eyes! They will succumb! Marauder horsemen! Charge them! Yes, Lord! Very well! Move fast! Nurgle's glory! Faster! Our blades hunger! Gah!
Alright, back in a sec.
Yes, Lord! We want their eyes! Bring us to carnage! Faster!
Ouch.
Marauder horseman! Marauder horseman! Charge them! Khorne demands! Bring us to carnage! The dark gods command me! Khorne demands!
The dragons do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it seems like just dragon bombing is a perfectly sufficient way of dealing with foot Dark Elf Lords.
What'd you say?
I said it seems like dragon charging seems like a perfectly sufficient way to deal with foot lords.
Oh, definitely.
No! Skulls for the skull throne!
In the last battle, did you use Keeping someone happy?
Yeah, that's why she took so much damage to begin with.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I didn't actually realize. See, my battle awareness is so bad. I gotta check spells sometimes. So much to improve. I feel like that part is really sloppy.
Attack the mortals! Kill the Southerners! Kill! Burn! Burn! Seas of blood! Torn bloody glory! Marauder horseman! Chosen! Marauder horseman! Stop throwing!
Yeah, normally I do use the Necroarch Vampire Lord on a dragon in the Dark Elf matchup. I like the Curse of Onre Air to trap Cav and really gimp the burst damage of Black Ark Corsairs with handbows.
Was Cat comment in that matchup?
The gods demand it!
I see the occasional Cold One Night to try to pin down dragons and Terrorgeist and Rorgul, stuff like that.
Chosen! Your
That
will!
might not be a bad idea. Wrath is just so good in that matchup.
I am the god! Seas of blood!
Heylo's playing this one really well. Did a really good job taking that one.
Marauder horseman!
But I also really like the Scroll of Leeching in the Dark Elf matchup, just because a lot of their good spells are high Winds of Magic cost. And, you know, if the Winds of Magic start out at like 4, you can just instantly pop it on them, and it's really hard for them to get their Soul Stealer off in time to prevent one of their characters from being sniped.
Yeah, that's true.
Faster!
I usually just bring Soul and that's it. Wrath, nothing else.
My god's
I don't
call!
even bring. I think power.
Charge!
Is actually worth it.
Take it, Southerner! The dark gods command me!
You can still get like 3 or 4
Yes!
Soul Stealers.
Do you normally bring the Enchanting Beauty and Heartrender?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
take the spirit. I take the life leeching and
Arcane Conduit?
yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You played that really patiently. Lost your Hell Cannon. Like that was a really patient play.
Overcast Plague of Rust on the dragons. That
Yeah.
helped a lot for the skirmishes. Yeah, I was a little bummed losing the Hell Cannon, but wasted a lot of breaths on it, so I could live with that. Chosen will do
Yeah.
their work when the time comes.
Moving them, the key move was just taking them off the thing. Like,
Yeah.
taking it off the cannon or just mounting a cannon.
I still managed to get like a few shots on a few of the Harganeth on the way in. Nothing crazy, but at least a little bit of damage, and it helped out. But yeah, the Marauder Horseman did really well.
Yeah, Halcon won 2-1 for the best of 3. three are there. He won the High Elf Mirror, won, I think, Bretonian to Dark Elves. I told her to bring the build I was using, and then he lost with Dawi. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Well, actually, I got. I think she just found your channel actually randomly.
Really?
Yeah, because she was trying to learn chaos or practice, and also like practicing. I was like, yeah, you should definitely watch Heylo's. Heylo's the Chaos Master. Look at his channel.
What else do I want to do here?
Yeah, I was a WoW really gawked past the FAM's perspective. I didn't have screen out like that, but how wicked mom rat.
Fuck with the core beast area.
Cheap, good, memory boy.
Keep good mammling boy? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Talking about what I'm seeing. Yeah, after this we'll probably do
Best of 3.
Isabella's healing was going down for like his casters in the blob and his like monsters for like the Vargulf and stuff. The problem was that he lost her pretty early on. And a lot of his magic was going into enfeebling foe because he was trying to snipe out Marathi when she was on the ground. And he kept committing his lord doing the enfeebling foe thing. So even when he got out, he doubled back in. And unfortunately, the rampage kicked and he just ended up losing Isabella early. Or the Lamia Lord, whatever it was. Yeah.
I think if I could have used my healing a bit more wisely, I could have reduced the effects of Rampage, because it does still require, like, it's more possible the lower the hit points are.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely not the optimal strategy. It was just more of something I was trying out for curiosity's sake. I do think the Necrotic Lord is probably the better pick. It still has all of the utility that I like bringing into the Dark Elf matchup.
287 enemy model count. Oh my.
Yep. Mobility build. Lotus Moon.
Faster, or blades hunger. Runner, horseman.
Look.
Yeah, it's interesting. She will kite, but she's got pretty good micro, but she won't kite all the time like Lotus Moon.
We fight! Mortal fool! Very well!
Oh yeah, Heylow.
Up, dog?
The other thing I was thinking about with that Bretonnian match, instead of the 4 cav, go 3 and bring a paladin on the Royal Pegasus
Yeah.
for both Guardian, and also he can take advantage of the huge armor drop strategy I was going for.
Yeah, that sounds decent.
Shooting.
As well as the Guardian would help Lewin.
I think I'm gonna lose this. Too much shit away.
How is her Dark Riders of Beer Crossbow like chasing off 2 horsemen? That's crazy. It's possible she's kind of shooting like marauders. I feel a little too much to like that.
I will say I did make a good choice putting the damsel on the unicorn for that 40% magic resist.
Why is that?
Because of the fireball, the attempted fireball snipings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see what that was doing. You got a dragon. Too healthy dragon. He needs to not. He needs to save her ammo. I think we actually have this ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she can kill Sartorel.
Lead us to mortals.
Her source of terror is about to half. Yeah. And she wasted too much ammo. I don't want to back. Maybe I'm just shitty than you are playing the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose Sarth, but
I think you're still gonna win.
oh
She
well.
wasted way too much ammo. She does have a cold chariot left, so she has shagging. She does have ammo left.
Yeah, Sarth is down, but
The problem is Marathie's so out of position right now that she needs that soul stealer.
My God's call! Cast down Blade Hunger!
And if you get the other cold one chariot, then yeah, it's just not almost anything left.
Now is our time!
Oh, why is she shooting
That's the Master
shooting
Spirit.
Chaos Marauders? Yeah. Mistake.
Nurgle's pestilent glory! The gods demanded!
Maybe nerves.
Yes! Charge! Ready! Faster! What? What do you bid? Mortal fool!
Many spells. I don't think.
Very well!
Yeah, I don't think Soul Blight's really worth it here.
For chaos!
yeah.
Chaos Marauders! Yes!
I think she said if she can't beat someone, she'll, like, keep her up at night trying to think about how to beat them.
The Dark Gods command me!
Good job, Heylow.
Thanks, dog.
Like, imagine how good a Soul Stealer would be right now. She doesn't have the wins for it, clearly. Maybe not. I think that should get out of there. Yeah, oof. That's close.
Almost out of ammo.
I'm thinking. I'll do more. I'm thinking as well as for dealing with Chosen, Uranin's Thunderbolt actually might be good because of how compact generally they're. Like it's hard. I figured like in my last match it would have been hard to place a chain lightning that also wouldn't potentially kill off all my troops as well.
Almost at that point, purple.
For Bretonia. I'm talking about the Bretonia cannon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because like the other problem is like the Comet was going to be my answer to the Chosen with halberds, but they were spread out so much I also couldn't get any good hits with that. But with Uranin's Thunderbolt, well, it was the reason I brought the Heavens was for the Curse of the Midnight Wind to pair with the Sword of Corone. That drops Kolic down to 35 armor, which really helps the cheaper cav to put in cost-effective damage.
You know what I think you needed? That was close. Damn, that was close.
Yeah, it was good.
She wasted so much of her ammo on like marauders and shit.
Yeah, turning fire at will off would have been better.
Yeah, I think she was shooting marauders.
I got a little too greedy early on trying to go aggressive. I should have played a little safer with my skirmish cav and just wasted her ammo. But, we made it work. Propolis Knights. What the fuck are you guys talking about in chat right now? Things up in here talking Necro Knights, Cold One Knights with Falcon. Alright, fair enough. Alright, who's doing the next best of 3? Was it you and Zutron, or?
Yeah, I think he's playing Iron Thunder right now, though.
Is he?
You can message him and see if they have a battle up for you. Or I can play it afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like the Paladin definitely would have been the better option.
See if they're playing already. I don't know, I messaged them. Alright, well, other than that, if anyone else is around that wants to do their games.
I mean, we could do ours.
Oh, we could, yeah.
We could? Couldn't we?
Good.
Yeah, let me just go to the bathroom.
Damn, dude, you use the bathroom a lot. Shit.
Dude, I've been drinking coffee, water, now wine.
Fair enough.
All day, so. I don't have a small bladder. You still streaming?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, King of the Dead. I'm down on one knee. Will you marry me, bitch?
Wow.
Yeah.
think Rightist is undefeated right now.
Oh, he's not wrongest.
Truth.
She's not bad. I mean, she's pretty good, I think.
No, I think she's pretty good.
She's got good micro. She just needs yeah. I would have done some things differently there, but she has her own style, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's good to see someone who plays like aggressively, but can also like switch it up and kite.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do that. So.
Oh wow, King says sorry, I don't marry trash. Damn.
Wow. Well, thought it runs in your family.
Yeah, Rightist has played 3 and won all 3 of them. Guy.
Is Zutron and or El Halcon still around?
I think Zutron is playing Iron Thunder right now. Halcon is in chat. Trying to square up with Halcon?
Yeah, might as well. You need to get that game in sometime.
Yes. Halcon, you looking to play some games, dog? You're getting called out by Uncle Gant. Give him 5? Okay. Actually getting pretty... Oh, cat. So cute. And I might make more coffee. Okay, we'll do that. If you want to set up a lobby for him, I'll just spectate you. Wick and I can do our games another time. I'm going to make some food and drink really quick. I haven't eaten since like 8. And it is now 4 o'clock. Happening?
Where'd you go?
Gant is going to play Halcon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I'm actually just really hungry, so I'm going to make some food and get some more coffee, and then I'm just going to spectate for a little bit.
Alright.
I'll just make the password 1, 2, 3.
I'll play Zutron afterwards.
Ooh. Curious to see how Zutron and Iron Thunder's match is going. I think they're on game 2 now, maybe? What's your lobby name? Helganton. I love it. What's the password? Uncle Gant.
Yeah.
What's the password?
The password's 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. Of course it is.
Do one of you have the brackets open still? Who's,
Yeah.
who's
Oh,
trading?
shit. I
pull it
joined.
up.
Okay.
Here, I'll pull it up. It's called... What is it called again? The name of the thing?
I've already got it open. What do you need?
Who's picking first? Between me and Halcon.
Halcon. Iron. Halcon pipes.
Oh, dude. You know what Amber said? She said, I love beating the dwarves. It's my favorite profession. Just playing against dwarves. So my tactics are perfected.
Perfect.
Oh, but I also want to branch out and also own chaos and subhuman faction.
Fantastic. Oh my god, I can never see where.
You can just...
Halcon A move. There it is. Round 10, it is Halcon picking first and banning. Alright, meanwhile, while we wait, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and I'm gonna heat up some motherfucking leftover Wingstop. That Parmesan garlic. Here we go. Alright, boys, we back. We out here and we wildin'. Put my fucking gat away. Alright. So. Halcon's picking Norska, banning Lizardmen. Looks like Gant's going Dark Elves.
Dude, you're a Dark Elf.
What a time to be alive. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my garlic parmesan chicken. Throwing some honey barbecue sauce down on this plate. Is a bold move. Pretty good one. Alright. Excited to see where we're gonna go here. Meanwhile, chat be litty in the city with talk of Grimgors, Gabos, and spiders. Blorks for Grimgor. Blorks for the Blork God. Alright, while they're getting the builds ready, I'm gonna get the damn coffee going too.
Yo.
Hey, if it ain't the Plopsies.
What up, boys?
Halcon is playing Uncle Gantz in the best 3.
Made it back at just in time. What's up,
And a wife
Plops?
beater. I just played Uncle Gant in the best of 3. Heylow played Uncle Gant. Heylow and Halcon played Amber in best of 3s.
Ooh.
Yeah. Heylow won.
How did that go?
I think Halcon won 2-1 and I won 2-0. They were good games though. Dark Elves into Makeus. Yeah, Falcon. Falcoff is in the chat. He says hi and he'll be on in 2 days.
Ooh.
He's going to be returning gloriously like Gandalf the White.
Very nice.
Oh man, alright. You trying to get some best of 3 games in with the local crowd here?
The local crowd.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think
not?
Zutron's on. He's finishing up with Iron Thunder. And then Wick, you were going to play Zutron, right?
I think so.
Okay.
The Rightus, though, wants to potentially play.
Everybody wants to play. Alright, I'm going to switch chats. I'm going to go over this nonsense.
How was Attila?
Alright, gang. Okay. So Mr. Unleash God, aka Al Halcon, gonna be rocking pretty wide Berserker intermixed with Marauder line. He does have the Icehorn Marauders with that perfect vigor goodness. Got double javelins and a whole bunch of skin wolves, as well as a Norskin Ice Troll at the core. Rocking some Beast of Tashnar, and he has Wolfric and a Metal Shaman on chariots. He is doing some Plague of Rust and Glittering Robe, something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to be seeing Uncle Gant with his Dark Elves. He's going to have a line of Dread Spears with the Sisters of the Singing Doom. And he is going to have Slanesh's Harvesters, as well as some Dark Riders with shields up front, 2 units. Far right flank is going to have a Black Dragon, as well as some Harpies vanguarded across his line, 2 of them. And then in the area, he's also going to have the Raven's Herald and a Dreadlord sword and crossbow. On foot, lastly, the Sorceress Lore of Shadow. He's going to be rocking Malkos, Enfeebling Foe, and Pendulum. So very, very nice. I like both builds. Curious to see if Uncle Gant's going to be able to capitalize on his mobility and his air superiority, because he's going to have to take the javelins out. And then these Skin Wolves should have pretty good engagements, to be honest. Like, Dark Riders are not going to really be able to get into too much with the Skin Wolves being there. They're pretty mobile. And then Slanesh's Harvesters got to look out, because if they get overwhelmed, they're going to be dropping like flies. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm excited for the Dragon. The Dragon should be able to get some good damage in, maybe take out some of these Berserkers. But no heavy armored units to really worry about there. Alright. So off the bat, Halcon is going to be pivoting to meet Gant on his left flank. And it looks like he's just looking to square up a little bit. A couple Javelins going out after some Harpies. All the shots miss. But it looks like they're going to be pushing over and meeting up on this high ground over here. Got to be very careful with the Raven's Herald, because with their lower model count, only 18, if he starts taking some good volleys from these Javelins, they could drop very quickly. And he is putting them out there in the open. Dark Riders with shields pushing around on the flank, feinting a little bit after some of these Marauders, maybe trying to bait out the Skin Wolves. Yep, Skin Wolves pushing up and advancing, but quickly falling back. Over here, it looks like this unit of Skin Wolves is going to catch this Dark Rider with shields as it goes in on the Marauders. Gant trying to very quickly pull them out, but Slanesh's Harvesters are on standby, so very curious to see here. This Skin Wolf could be in a very bad position. It looks like the Dragon is going to be coming down as well, so if he's able to delete this Skin Wolf, that's going to be a very, very good trade for him. The Dark Riders with shields being lost for a unit of Skin Wolves, not bad whatsoever. Harpies in on some Skin Wolves back here, tying them down so that the Raven's Herald can get some nice shots in. Very nice move. It's actually working really, really well. Very cost effective. Javelins here putting some shots in on the Harpies because they are tied up. I don't know if they're in guard mode. He might. Yep, he is moving to target the Raven's Herald, but the Raven's Herald did an awesome job of rinsing out some of these Skin Wolves. They're not bad at all. Meanwhile, another unit of Skin Wolves is over here, getting tied up in some Sisters of the Singing Doom, not where they want to be. Berserkers in combat, doing a decent job. They are rampaged, though. Skin Wolves getting terror routed. Wolfric is out here trying to provide some support. The Dragon goes down. Probably not the best move into the back line, getting caught up by some Skin Wolves and the Shaman Sorcerer, Lord of Metal, who does overcast Plague of Rust for the minus 60 armor, so that's going to let the Skin Wolves really rip into him. But Uncle Gant does manage to pull him out a bit. Wolfric the Wanderer is hot on his tail, though, trying to keep him from getting back in the air, providing some nice punching power to try and get that extra DPS on. Little bit of a Skin Wolf and Norskin Ice Troll blob with Slanesh's Harvesters and some Harpies coming down to tie up this mess. Black Dragon does get back in the air, and a very nice pendulum going down on the Norskin Infantry that is engaging with the Sisters of the Singing Doom. A lot of damage done on the Berserkers and a little bit on the Marauders. However, the Sorceress Lord of Shadow gets hit by Hunter of Champions and is being jumped on by Wolfric and a unit of Skin Wolves as well. Black Dragon coming down to try and support, but he has to remember that there's 3 different units of Skin Wolves here as well as the Metalcaster. And yeah, very quickly that Black Dragon is going to get pounced on by this massive mob of Dogos. Slanesh's Harvesters have returned, and they are coming in to try and engage the blob and maybe save this Sorceress, but that's a lot of wolves. That is a very, very large amount of wolves. These Skin Wolves doing a great job, but still the Raven's Herald are pretty much free to focus fire them and are doing a really good job of picking off a couple of the models. But Dark Riders with shields out here trying to chase down this Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. They don't really have AP, and unfortunately on the Chariot he does have 85 armor, so they're not really doing too much damage to him very quickly, and they are kind of losing their engagement. It's looking like the Norskin blob over here with some of these Javelins and just this chunk of surviving Skin Wolves is probably going to be carrying the day. Very good use of the Raven's Herald. They got tons and tons of damage done with the Guiding Eye being popped on them by the Dreadlord. Unfortunately, just not really able to do quite enough damage. The Sorceress Lord of Shadow is coming back in. One thing I'm noticing from Uncle Gant is he's very, very aggressive with his casters. Very aggressive with his casters. So even though she's very low on health, still taking the risk and running in to try and get like rear charges and things like that on some of these blobbed up like Skin Wolf units. Very, very risky, but he does end up pulling out and does get caught by one of the Skin Wolves. Dreadlord up here in the air. Oh, is this gonna hit? Pendulum coming down, doing a nice chunk of damage, but overall pretty much missing the 2 other units here, and army losses are gonna hit. So that is gonna be GG. Game 1 going to El Halcon. Nice match, very nice match. Yeah, really liked the Ravens Herald play. Did a really good job of focusing down some of those skin wolves, but unfortunately, maybe a little bit too aggressive with his Black Dragon. Getting it caught up in that blob. Did a pretty good job of taking out some of these berserkers and whatnot, but yeah, Dark Riders didn't really have a home there. They were kind of forced to disengage a lot of the times just because of how many skin wolves were available. They were getting pretty ripped up whenever they'd head in. So Nesh's Harvesters did a pretty solid job, though, of trading into the skid wolves. Yeah, Harpies trying to tie him down for the Ravens Herald. That was good. Unfortunately, just not really enough for the Dark Elves to be able to take down all of these very efficient units. But yeah, good game to both. See what they go with next. What are you guys talking about? XMT like rush factions and dwarves? It's true. I don't really think we have many players in XMT that do any kind of like kiting. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us are fairly standard kind of players. What do we want to see? Do some Warpstone Mine. Frostworms are awesome. I have a lot of fun using Frostworms. Mammoths are also a blast. Pretty much anything Norskin large is a lot of fun to play with. Okay, a little bit of rule clarification there for how we're doing our format. So, for the round robin bracket, what's up, brightest? We have 13 XMT players that are in it. Everyone plays each other once, best of 3 series. First person picks like the top bracket, first person will pick and then ban, and then the loser of the match for game 1 has either the option to pick and then ban, or if they prefer to counter pick, they can like cede the pick and let the person who won have the pick ban. But it gives the loser the option of like either you can pick your stronger faction and ban, or you can play off the counter pick and just so that it gives them a decent chance of having like a game on their terms, I guess. Oh, is Karl Max? All right, seems like Gant is ready. Like Halcon is ready. Fun. Shall see what's gonna happen next here. God, my cat is cute. Of course, Kembertonia equals ODM. I love it. Alright, so builds. For El Halcon over here, it's looking like we're going to have the Royal Air Force of Bretonia coming out to play. 2 units of Royal Pegasus Knights, and then they're going to be supported by Royal Hippo Knight. Very, very nice. Frontline is going to consist of a large chunk of Peasant Mobs, 5 units. He is also going to have some supporting units in the Man-at-Arms with Polearms. Looking like 3 in the front line with a Beast Slayer of Bastone Footsquire in the back, as well as 2 units of base Footsquires. He is also going to have a Peasant Bowman of Pox arrows, Fire arrows, and a standard one. So 3 archers, 1 of each type. And he's going to have the Grail Relique as well as the Fey Enchantress. And the Fey Enchantress is, of course, going to be on foot, floating in the air, being as wonderful as always. So very, very nice. I like it a lot. For Uncle Gant over here, he's going to have a front line with 5 units of zombies, back line of skeleton warriors, the Konigstein Stalkers, very nice. In the air, he's going to have 2 Terrorgeist, the Devils of Schwarzhof and Vargeist, very exciting. And then also a Fellbat. Right flank is going to have a Black Knights with Lances and Barding. And then he is also going to have a Double Corpse Cart and a Necromancer on foot with a White King as well. Interesting. Von Karstein Vampire Lord is going to be up in the air on the Dragon as well. So looking good, looking good. Very curious to see how this is going to go. Both armies have a sizable air force, and both armies have very powerful healing. So very, very interesting. Sounds good, Falcon. I will be your radio DJ for today. So yeah, spell-wise for the Von Karstein Lord, it's looking like we're going to be seeing... wow, he's going to be seeing Manticores, as well as Raised Dead, Danse Macabre, Invocation, something else in there too, I think. Try and eke in here. Yep, Manticores, and then also, yeah, that's just Pendulum Breath. So yeah, pretty spell heavy on this guy. A lot of different options. Probably going to have the Winds to do it though, as he does have the Necromancer to generate that Winds of Magic with the Rod. And then White King there as well to provide a little bit of punching power and support for the front lines, keep his leadership up. Black Knights are sweeping around the right side, looking to get into the D core, maybe get some good line charges into the peasant mob. And yeah, Air Force just kind of prodding the lines here from both sides. You can see Halcon immediately going for a more defensive posture because he does have the archers. So pulling those Peg Knights over his skirmishers so that if Gant over here wants to try and take the engagement, he's going to be sitting over the archer fire. On the other hand, Uncle Gant does have the zombie summons, so he can attempt to tie those guys down. And peasant bowmen are not going to be as sustainable as more like elite skirmishers. So can be very risky, but there are some peasant mobs as well as men-at-arms in there to try and back them up. But it looks like we're going to have this air engagement popping off very early. Risky move from Uncle Gant, pushing in right away with all of the skirmisher fire here. Zombie summon does go down on the peasant bowman with fire arrows though. And Fellbat's taking a little bit of damage. Royal Peg Knights getting into a unit of Fellbats, and they're getting absolutely rinsed. A lot of skirmisher fire coming in from the Pox arrows. Von Karstein Lord is stuck in the middle of Hippos as well as the Royal Peg Knights. But the Terrorgeist is going to be coming in to support him, and the Devils of Schwarzhofen have pulled around to the backside. Heal goes off, Undeath Resurgent as well. So Earthblood there. Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. Good spell use. Getting that Tempest off. But unfortunately, the Peg Knights do pull out of there. I think if he was going to do that, he might have wanted to stay in combat and let that go down to try and do a little more sustained damage to the Pegasus Knights. Unfortunately, he is taking a lot of Pox arrow fire and is getting kind of focused down. Not really able to deal with these Hippos right now. Necromancer coming over. Von Karstein Lord is on the run. However, he does have 2600 HP left and is regenning. So Pegasus Knights taking a lot of damage. 2 models down though, so they still have a solid model count. Zombies are on the ground. Unfortunately, he did lose the Black Knights out on the flank. Man-at-Arms with Polearms doing a very solid job of holding up the Bretonnian left side. Some peasants rallying. Frontline is looking like a little bit of a wash at the moment. Beastlayer's Bastone and some Foot Squires holding up the zombies, of course. And I don't know. It's looking Bretonnia favored right now. The air fight is definitely going into the Bretonnians' favor, with the Terrorgeist as well as the Von Karstein Lord on the run, and all of the supporting air units are gone. Hippos are hot and heavy on the Von Karstein Vampire Lord's tail. And unfortunately, there really isn't anything that Uncle Gant can do to really compromise these peasant bowmen. So in the back lines, the peasant bowmen of Fire, Pox, and Standard are just absolutely dominating. Focus firing the Terrorgeist as well as the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. He does take to the ground and gets a Vargulf summon. Yeah, Vargulfs, not Manticores. So Vargulf summon does go down. Terrorgeist is on the ground, getting swamped on by some Hippo Knights and Peg Knights. And a heal goes off at the last second for the Von Karstein Lord, but doesn't get completed because just as he's about to use it, the skirmish fire focus pushes the Von Karstein Lord into crumbling. And oh man, loses him. He goes down. So balance of power getting a nice tip into Bretonnia's favor. The Terrorgeist being on the ground is definitely helping a little bit. Unfortunately, there really isn't anything here to support in taking out these Royal Pegasus Knights. Necromancer is down to 1000 HP, about third of its cumulative health. Terrorgeist is just below half, and the Skirmishers doing an excellent job of focus firing this summoned Vargulf as well as the Corpse Cart. But Pox arrows going straight into the Terrorgeist, fire arrows going right into the Vargulf. And then over on the right side, it's not looking too bad. Unfortunately, the men-at-arms with polearms, as well as a few of the peasant mob that were held in reserve to protect his peasant bowmen, are pushing up to help reinforce that line, and army losses are going to hit as the Necromancer goes down as well. So that is going to be GG, with Halcon taking the win. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good game. Yeah, imagine if Counts had Manticore summons. Ugh. That would be craziness. Yeah, Royal Air Force. The Vargulf summon costs, I want to say 21 Winds of Magic. It is very expensive. But he does have the Lord on the Dragon to generate some wins, and then he also has the Foot Necromancer with the Rod to help generate as well. It's basically just there as a battery. Yeah, I would agree. I think Counts probably want to take the ground fight versus Bretonia. I think Bretonian's air game is a little bit too strong. I think he can get away with like a Blood Knight game, maybe replacing the Terrorgeist on the Dragon with Blood Knights could be decent. Just forego the air altogether and try and go that route. Yeah, it was a good game though. Felbats were ranked 9, but unfortunately they just didn't really have an opportunity to tie down the Peg Knights for long enough because with the skirmish fire there, they were just getting absolutely dumpstered on. That was pretty tough. Pretty tough. Alright. Try and figure out who is going to go next. Because of that game, I'm going to put El Halcon and Gant off roster here. Gonna be Bo for El Halcon. And let's hop on over into the chat. Pipes and Gant. Carne assault, dudes.
Dude.
Alright. Yeah, that's something I've been meaning to try out against someone who's competent with Air Force because I knew he would bring it.
Yeah.
It just, even if it did work, it would require way more micro than it's worth. It's better to just bait them down to the ground and then hit them with Blood Knights.
That was 2-0, correct? You guys played 2 games?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I didn't mess that up. Alright. So what's next? Pipes, you and Gant trying to get some games in?
I'm in a free-for-all right now, but I could probably play.
Does that work for you, Gant, or you got something going on?
Nah, that works for me.
Okay.
The rank 9 bats actually work well against the Hippogriff Knights, but not the Pegasus Knights.
Yeah, it seemed like they were doing a good job of tying them up, but his skirmish fire was just like melting them because there were just the 3 archers there, just dumping their shots into that blob.
Yeah, and I was spending way too much it just requires way too much micro on my part to try to best a Bretonian Air Force.
Yeah, it was tough.
Seeing if it was worth it, it's not.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's what these are for, you know, to kind of test some builds and see how they work out, so you know. Rightus, currently you are in first place on the training camp board with Halcon in second. What up, Wick? What happened to Wick? Where'd you go?
Excuse me, sorry.
Anyone to play another? Well, Pipes, when he's done with his free-for-all, he's going to play Gant.
Yeah, I'm almost done. It's currently 18,000 to 14,000. I'm in the lead.
Perfect. Going for that thick FFAW.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be easy, dude. I crushed the greenskins within like 5 minutes.
Nice.
And then now I'm on to the Skaven.
All right. Setting a lobby up as a spectator. Speak T Tour.
Yo.
Carne assault.
Yo.
I was here. I just had to go tell King of the Dead to go shut the fuck up.
Malingering.
What's the password?
It is 0.
Okay, so that was gonna be my first.
Who's playing now?
Gant is gonna be playing Professor Plops.
Oh,
Yeah, brah.
Plopsasaurus Rexus.
Yeah.
Happening. We're doing it live.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
We demand brood. I don't think I've ever had this many
Came back
kills
just in
before.
time. Thanks for the follow, Blast Beat. Appreciate you.
Cool.
You the champ. Alright. Go. Get Professor invite. I will check the bracket. See who's picking banning first.
All right. I'm out.
Not gonna lie, navigating this bracket, real pain in the ass. Alright, round 11.
Well,
So
did
Uncle
you get
Gant
the
is gonna
bracket?
pick ban. Yeah, but it's not like the rounds are meant to be played in like order of like round
300.
1 to round 2 to round 3, but we're just doing them in whatever order we want because we can fill in the scores as we please.
393 kills in an organ gun.
Wow. 393?
Mhm.
Damn.
Shit.
All right.
Again, Brightest wants me to ask you, Pipes, about the general who died on the sea.
General who died. Yeah. It's basically like someone took a pricker bush and then they put a whole bunch of like alcohol on it and then they just rammed me in the butt with it.
Wow, that sounds exquisite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're banned.
All right. What's password 123?
0.
Oh god.
Yeah, Gant has first pick and ban, and then the loser of game 1 will have the option to either pick and ban or counter pick.
All right, cool, Uncle Gant. What are you doing, man?
Alright, I'm gonna open up strong. I'm gonna do vampire counts, but I'm not letting you use Norse gun.
Ah!
I'm bad.
Alright.
That one's no, don't want it.
All right.
Been consecutively banning Norska for his counts. He just doesn't want the matchup, apparently.
Yeah, he's just that.
I like the other ones a lot more. Ah, Dowie.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting much better at this game. Like recently, like starting to take off, kind of like Gandhi when he hits nuclear fission in Civ 5.
Yeah, man. Declare war on everyone.
Yeah, our words. He's like, "I'll be your best friend." Our words are backed with nuclear weapons. Keep your friends close and your calzones closer.
Dude, I could go for a calzone. I say as I'm eating.
Dude, I ate a whole pizza last night. I feel terrible still eating it.
And after Adepticon, we came back and we went to my buddies. And we all went back and watched like the UFC fights last night. And man, first couple fights real slow. They all went to decision after round 3. But dude, the last 3 fights, beautiful.
You remember them?
Oh yeah, they're great. Yeah, I wasn't hammered yesterday.
My birthday's an hour.
Friday night to Saturday morning, I was absolutely destroyed. But Saturday I was fine because I went to like Adepticon at the convention and then we went back for the UFC. I actually was not hungover. Like I was golden. I have a really good fortitude.
It out, it's fine. I really want to find what you were saying because it was so funny. Oh yeah, here it is. You were like posting the skink memes. Let's see.
I was so hyped.
Let's see. Oh, you said 2:03 a.m. CST. Don't make me math for Markson's breeds God. Girl, that's booty hole. You said absolutely perfectly 0. 45 minutes ago, we started discussing clocks and face cleansers. FML just trying to go hard. Let's see. Y'all can't comprehend the levels at Heylow operate. Oh man, this is awesome. Let's see what else.
I need to just turn my phone off when I get drunk.
I'm transcending all as possible. I'm yet to emerge. Yeah, do you remember any of this?
What? I don't remember saying that.
Yeah. You also posted something about what is this hole and how can one use it to attain glory?
Oh my fucking god. Screenshot that shit for me.
You also said
Pin it.
Forever.
Pin it. I don't fucking care.
I don't remember this guy being in Black Panther.
I need to go back and read all that.
Yeah, it's in the general Discord.
Oh my god. All right, well I'm gonna go into my little hidey hole. Thanks for following Dung Holes and Baggins. I love it. All right. So battle realism mode. Yeah, battle realism, it like removes the HUD. You don't have a mini map, and then you can it keeps you like a certain distance from your units. So you also at 200 meters what was it with 200? 500 meters and further, enemies are invisible. Like you can't see them from like fog of war, like they're hidden. And then there's something with 200 meters. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, camera is locked. You can only go so far from your army. Like you can't move your camera around the battlefield freely. Like you're kind of locked in around your army's area or something like that. It's really goofy. But meanwhile, over here, Uncle Gant rocking his wonderful old counts. He's going to have a front line of spread out zombies. Only 2 units, actually. He's going to have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord in the air, rocking Raise That Invocation, as well as the Vargulf Summon. He's also going to have the Black Knights and a Black Coach on the left flank. Right flank is going to also have a Black Coach and Black Knight. In the air, Vargeist and 2 units of Fellbats. Fellbats are not rank 9. And Mortis Engine at the core, as well as the Vargulf on the ground. So very, very heavy on the single entities, as well as some air. Over here at 4, Professor Plops, he is bringing the Dowie. Pipes has the Norgrimling's Iron Breakers up front. At the spear tip, he's going to have Iron Breakers on both sides of that. And he's also going to have the Peak Gate Guard Hammerers and another unit Hammerers, defending 2 units of Troll Hammer Torpedoes, 2 Miners of Blasting Charges in the rear, and then he has 2 units of Slayers, one of them being the Dragonback Slayers, and yeah, basic Rune Lord at the center. He's been rocking that, I want to say Rune of Negation and Slowing. Rune of Negation, Wrath and Ruin, yep. So very, very interesting to see how this is going to work out. Yeah, the classic Elite Dowie box. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out. If his Troll Hammer Torpedoes are able to do a lot of work, then I think this is going to go in his favor. But if his Troll Hammers can't, I think he's going to get swamped on by these Black Coaches. But nice. Very nice. Troll Hammer's getting some very solid damage on the Vargulf early. I think Uncle Gant may have engaged that Vargulf a little bit too soon, because he is getting pretty shafted on. Meanwhile, zombie summons going out on the Dragonback Slayers, as well as some Fellbats. Black Knights trying to go in to get a charge. Dragon Lord is going to be coming in over top. And yeah, Black Coach going in. Vargulf going to the back line. You can see that he's trying to answer these Troll Hammer Torpedoes very quickly, because that is going to be the most dangerous thing for him. If he shuts down the Troll Hammer Torpedoes, he can just cycle charge and start abusing. But unfortunately, because they are alive right now and he has to engage them, this is providing Professor Pipes with a good opportunity to get some damage in with his Slayers, since you have to be basically on top of these units. Black Coaches are doing a decent job of staying out of bad spots, so to speak, but needs to be a little more consistent, keeping them moving, keeping them going into the units. One nice way to do that is to click a unit, and instead of clicking a move order on like standard ground, you just click them to another unit. That way you can switch targets and they're still doing like, they're still being aggressive. They don't end up sitting out in the open like that. But looking pretty good here so far. The dragon is on the ground with some of these Black Knights, doing some very good damage. One of the Slayers already pretty much dead, 24 models left. However, the Peak Gate Guard are doing a very solid job. It's still very healthy. Iron Drakes moving out of the way there with their Trollhammer torpedoes, trying to survive. One of them has been removed, though. Dragonback Slayers are doing a good job of taking down some of these Black Knights, but the Fell Bats doing an excellent job. The Zombie Summons trying to tie them up, keeping them from engaging the appropriate targets. Miners with Blasting Charges getting some really good shots in to clear out some of these zombies. Balance of power very, very slightly in the Vampire's favor. Vargulf is up here doing some work on the Norgrimling's Irebreakers with the Mortis engine they're supporting. And then the Vargeist are still very, very healthy and back up in the air. Black Knights out there on the flank as well. This Black Coach is in a bit of a precarious position. It does need to get out of that blob and kind of back to moving. Slayers are back out on the flank getting a charge from the Black Knights, which does some substantial damage. They are down to 17 models, so kind of hamstrung at this point. Not very effective. Another Black Coach moves over to support the Mortis engine and the Vargulf in the front line to take down some of these Iron Breakers. But we do have the Dragonback Slayers, all 18 models remaining, going after this Vargulf, which is starting to crumble. So Dragon is back on the ground again, terrifying out these Iron Drakes. Good move there. More Iron Drakes pushing out from routing. So he has removed the missiles. He doesn't have to worry about that. One of them does rally, but he can use the Vargeist to force them off again. And they get some good shots on the Vargeist, but they are going to be taking them out pretty shortly here. A little bit of a thick Dawi blob forming now, trying to chase down this Black Coach. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, reducing its speed by 48%. It does end up stuck by the collapsing Iron Breakers, so it looks like that's going to be going down. It's probably going to lose it. However, Black Knight's out here doing a good job of finishing off these Slayers, down to 3 models. Black Coach has gotten out there to remove these Iron Drakes, and the Vargeist are going back in on the Slayers. Down to 2 models, still fighting strong, trying to desperately hold the line in this blob, and they are gone. So again, this big old blob of Dawi. Oh, a very nice breath attack going down, doing quite a substantial amount of damage to some of these hammers. Maybe a moment too late to get the most potential out of it, but he is going into the Norgrimling's Irebreakers, getting a solid kill on those guys. Dragonback Slayers down to 6 models, pretty much out of the fight at this point. And big commitment coming in here. Mortis Engine is now into the blob. Blood Dragon Lord is getting into the thick of things. Helm of Discord is down, but Master Rune of Negation providing that 44% damage resistance. So a really good play there, even though he's going to be taking more damage all in all from the Helm of Discord. Having that damage negation is kind of going to balance out the hits that he's receiving. Got to be careful though, because the Rune Lord is pretty isolated out here. He has been pushed from the blob, and the Dragon and Vargeist are in a good position to start trying to focus him out. And honestly, if he removes this Rune Lord, I don't think the Dawi are going to be able to hold together. A lot of them are beginning to take very, very serious damage. Peak Gate Guard are still in the fight, though, providing that magic damage as well as some of the armor sundering. Do have some magic resistance as well to kind of keep them safe from this Mortis Engine. But you can see the Mortis Engine's work is really starting to pay off in the late game here at full health. There's nothing left for the Dawi to try and remove this thing from combat. It is already double chevron. And it's really grinding them out. Rear charges from the Vargeist and the Black Coaches doing some very, very solid work. And Pipes calls it. Probably a solid move. Not really much more he could have done there. But yeah, very good game. What's up, my son? How's it going? Rightist, you shit. Don't be a jerk. Yeah. Yeah, we've got XMT Training Camp, a little round-robin 13-man tournament that I set up. So we're going through some of the best of 3s today. There's no prizes or anything, but we're just trying to get everyone playing each other, practicing, getting some good experience with each other's play styles, try some new builds. Nothing on the line, so it's a good place to do it. But yeah, that's going to be game 1. Very, very nice. Gant coming away with the first win. Yeah, probably no Luminarchs. Yeah, I wouldn't say these are try-hard games, but they're not so much the stereotypical meme games that we tend to hit each other with every now and again. It's like semi-try-hard, like experimenting with some new builds that you think might be good. And I like to think that we're all pretty solid players, so it's a good time to do it. You don't have to worry about quick battle rank. You don't have to worry about trying something different in like a tournament setting. You can just do it here. Yeah, very curious to see what the next pick is going to be. Because that is Uncle Gant's main. So his counts are out of the way. Pipe's going for the Empire. I wonder what the ban is. Probably going to be Chaos or Norska, if I had to guess, which I'm doing. What map we want to do? Castle von Rauken. Sounds fun. How long are we training for? I don't know, man. Been going at this for about 2 hours now. I know Halcon was talking about wanting to get another one in. We had 13 players, so everyone playing each other at some point. We've got tons and tons of games to go, so as long as we got people who want to play, they can play. Who's up next? Yeah, Wick, you can play. I don't know if you want to play Halcon or Ritus, but I think both of them were looking to try and get some games in. They don't end up playing each other. Because right now, you might jump in next? Alright. We could do a Wick versus Iron Thunder. Check this bracket, see if it hasn't played each other. I might just open a lobby and the first 2 people to come in are just gonna play. You can only cast so much at once. Okay, so yeah, Wick and Iron Thunder do have to play their round 2. Got that. And then there's Halcon and Wicked for round 3. We want to do that one. I don't need to sleep. It's only 4:52. I'm good. I'm curious to see what these builds are going to be. Why waste wine? Excellent question. Very excellent question. Forgot about my coffee I had brewing. Alright. I'm gonna get the ball rolling here. I'll be right back. Oh, the map. Map's bugged. No. This could be actually really bad. Because for Empire vs. Bretonnia, if they went cav builds, this map is garbage. My son, you trying to join XMT, dog? Get you in on this goodness? Gant says it's fine. Man. I don't know if it's fine. I'd say this is a very Empire favored position. Like, especially looking at this build, like, these cannons are going to be absolutely lethal. This cavalry isn't really going to have anywhere to go other than just, like, straight in. So, if I was Pipes, I would put, like, a whole bunch of infantry, like, right up here. And then as soon as the match starts, just, like, advance it and just cut off these avenues. You just start, like, piling in on this side a little bit with, like, some halberds and spears. Get a few halberds and spears over here, and then fucking just box this off, and you're golden. Because, yeah, Bretonnian forces are going to have to come through along these wide flanks, and the cannons are probably going to be doing a lot of work. The map isn't that wide. I'm going to say the border is, like, here. And then on this other side, I think the border is like right along this. So there's only so much room to be able to push through here. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Tonia's gonna have to be very, very careful to conserve that cavalry. And not get focused down too quickly by these cannons, because he has a lot of cannons. Right away, some artillery shots going in and rinsing some peasant mob. Poor peasants. Solid shot into the beast slayers. Only taking out 3 of them. But yeah, you can see the defensive box here set up with these halberds and some of the spears, and then flagellants going out to the front line just to slow down this big formation. It's a very nice move. Get the flagellants, get this, like, halberd, just kind of park it up. But Bretonnia is definitely very, very wide. His cannons definitely need to change targets, though, and start taking out this cavalry. Because if the cavalry gets over here and closes this gap, that's going to be a very, very bad day. Very nice net going down on King Lewin, though. Are these cannons about to point blank Lewin? Is this about to happen? He is taking a withering amount of fire. Oh! And a cannon shot. Oh, he goes back up in the air. Forgot about that from net. Cannon shots trying to come in. Unfortunately, they miss, which is crazy. But silver bullets and the handguns are just rinsing him. A cannon shot nails Lewin. So very nice early damage. Unfortunately, Knights Errant are getting through. Oh, and they're in the cookie jar. They're in the cookie jar. He's just got to pull through. Don't keep him in combat there. Just start pulling through. Go straight after, like, the Hammer of the Witches. Nice and in the open. Oh, no. So that Knights Errant is going to get lost. But Curse of the Midnight Wind does go down on this blob debuffing. That Knight of the Realm is probably going to get tied up on Pipe's halberds there. Paladin coming down into the Pistoliers, not bad. Lewin does rally, and he does have regen, so if he keeps him out on the flanks and safe, he should be okay. Does need to get some movement going on these Knights of the Realm. Unfortunately, his micro-focus is all over this flank and trying to get his front line engaged. So Cannon does get a very, very nice barrage in on those Knights, but he is bringing them around the flank. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be able to take this out. He does have a lot of infantry, and he should be able to push through these flagellants. Unfortunately, with Unbreakable, I don't know if he's going to make it in time, because he does have a lot of handguns and a lot of artillery left, and he's getting some very, very nice damage out of the artillery and handguns. Like, Lewin almost died. Paladin's back here pushing off some of his skirmish cav, though, so very nice pickup there, routing out the Pistoliers. But here we go. Gant coming in hot and heavy with the Knights Errant, getting a solid charge onto this Great Cannon. Handgunners are turning about to try and get some shots into King Lewin. Very, very risky. Uncle Gant bringing Lewin back in. Foe Seeker and Lion's Shield popped with the missile resist, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Down to 413, 300, trying to get in. Balthazar, though, oh no. And yeah, Lewin is going to be headed for the hills. Fortunately, these Knights Errant are unopposed right now, as most of the infantry is tied up. Pipes is trying to pull some halberds back. He's turning about this Great Cannon, but I don't know if they're going to make it in time. This Knights Errant does an excellent job against the handgunners and is kind of picking away at the Hammer of the Witches. Lewin does rally again, though. Very good. Light Wizard stuck out here all on his lonesome. Damsel looking to maybe tie it down. Oh, good charge on the Damsel, but the Paladin is coming in to clean that up. Balthazar still out here for Professor Pipes, getting into the front line. And this Grail Relique is definitely helping in the frontline engagement. The Flagellants are beginning to collapse. 16 and 30 left. And once those guys go, it's going to be a tough time. Right now, balance of power slightly in the Empire's favor. But yeah, the Flagellants are starting to collapse. The Knights Errant coming back through, getting into the handgunners. Now King Lewin definitely playing it safe. 339 health left, flying way, way out in left field over there. Another cannon is still online, though. Silver Bullets have rallied. They are going to be trying to get some good shots in. One handgun does go down. A Knight Errant getting taken out, though, by Pipes halberds. So the left flank and right flank are looking good for the Empire. But the Empire's entire front line has basically just fallen apart. And with that, all of the Battle Pilgrims and Peasant Mob are going to be bum rushing forward. And that's going to be very, very bad news. This Lone Spearman and this Halberd are probably not going to be enough to hold off all of this infantry, especially with the Beast Slayers of Bastogne pushing through. And Lewin is wavering, but speed and vigor increased by Foe Seeker. He is swinging around the far left side. Great Cannon getting disrupted by some Spearmen at Arms, but the Halberds do win their fight against the other unit of Spearmen, and they are going to be coming into support. Silver Bullets back here with another Great Cannon unopposed. However, the Grail Relique is up front. Balthazar is still very, very healthy. But, yeah, I don't know. A lot of the artillery has been shut down. This right flank is turned into a blobby grind fest at this point. A lot of this artillery isn't going to be able to fire into the blob unless it wants to take out its own troops. So that would be very, very risky. However, the Empire is winning their left flank, and with that, they should be able to collapse back in and kind of envelop the remaining Bretonnian infantry that punched through that core. And I think that's going to probably spell the end of this match. Because once that infantry is able to recollapse and get a surround on all of the peasant mob and whatnot in here, they're probably going to rout them out and finish them very quickly. But Knights Errant pushing through to the back line. One Great Cannon goes down from these Spearmen. The Halberds just not taking them out fast enough. And as I say that, another Great Cannon is getting tied up. Silver Bullets here getting disrupted as well by the Knights Errant. This lone unit of Knights, 18 models, doing an excellent, excellent job of removing a lot of this range and artillery that was remaining for Professor Pipes. And he does manage to swing the balance of power into his favor. So very, very nice. Looking good. Lewin is out here just chasing off routing units, which is an excellent use for him. He only has 276 HP left. The Paladin and Lewin getting a lot of these handgunners and artillery crew off the battlefield. And that is helping a lot. Once the artillery crew is gone, all that ammo that's being accounted for by the balance of power is taking it out of the equation, basically. So they are gone. And Bretonnian infantry and cavalry rallying out in the backfield. So looking solid. One Great Cannon and the Silver Bullets remain. If he's able to take those guys out, it's going to be a bad time. Balthazar is only on half HP, getting chased around by the Paladin. There's no mobility for the Empire, so nothing to protect him for the most part. Paladin is kind of unopposed, and he is looking for Balthazar's head. Silver Bullets back here looking to push up and get some shots into King Lewin, and they are starting to do some damage to him. However, Uncle Gant very quickly getting his knights errant to try and go wrap those guys up. Only 15 models left, so once they take this charge here, they should be pretty well wrapped up. Yep, down to 11, and they are going to rout. So shuts down the silver bullets, shuts down the artillery with some remaining spears, and the balance of power is tipping further and further as Balthazar gets gooned. And that is GG. Uncle Gant taking the W against Professor Pipes. Slapping it down. What a time to be alive. The Grindfest was real. I was really expecting the cannons to be able to be a little more lethal against the knights. I think the target priority was a little bit too slow. He did a good job trying to focus down some of these battle pilgrims and getting some good shots into the Beastlayers of Bastones, but not enough damage onto the knights before they were able to close the gap. And it just wasn't effective enough at that point. Like, he just wasn't really able to get good shots in. He got a couple very good ones, but not quite the damage he was looking for. And he just managed to get a little bit too compromised at the end with some of those knights threading some gaps, shutting the artillery down for a little bit too long. The handgunners just not quite getting enough damage done. They did excellent against King Lewin, though. Like, that focus fire was real. It was real. But good games. Very good games. So, who's next? Playing their matchups next. Flops. And where was that match? Man, navigating this bracket. Pain in the ass. Pipes Taco, Pipes Rightist, Pipes Dimmy, Pipes Gant. There we go. Court scores. Clean victory for Uncle Gant. Clean victory. Iron Thunder wants in. Show us the tattoo. This one? This is my nerdy Warhammer tattoo. So it's 2 logos combined, but Warhammer 40k, 1,000 Suns, that's like my shit. So the sun with like the prongs here is the original tattoo with like the circle. It's the logo the 1,000 Suns had in Warhammer 30k when they were loyalists. And then the Ouroboros dragon here is what they switch to when they become traitor heretics. So it's a nice, wonderful fusion of loyalty and heresy. But alright. So next up, Iron Thunder is going to be coming in hot. So you are more than welcome to jump on in, good sir. I will set up a new lobby real quick, actually, because I think the other one was not named correctly. King, you can't play. I do need someone for Iron Thunder, but we're doing the XMT matches. And unfortunately, you're an Emma. So, yeah. I fucking did not host that as a spectator. There we go. Alright, what map? Karak Ungor. Cool, that's going to be the first map. Yo, what up, dogs?
What's up, man?
Iron Thunder needs an opponent. Either of you want to play him?
I haven't done his best. I haven't done my best of 3 with him yet. I can hop in on that.
Okay. I have the lobby up. It is XMT best of 3, password 0. It is 0, Iron Thunder. Password. Bunch of losers. We're not jelly. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like a whole lot of King of the Dead propaganda to me. Yeah, you got lucky. Falcon was on a bye. Otherwise, he would have carried the whole thing for us. 3.5. I love it. Friendly banter.
Oh, all right. Does anyone want to play? Let's see.
You can do the next one.
Aw, dude, I'm not feeling that right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty messed up. I don't even want to.
Alright, so Thunder versus Gant. Where are we at? Taco. Gant and Iron Thunder. Alright, so Gant has first pick and ban.
That'll be fun then.
Alrighty. Alright, I'm just going to start it up with my main and ban. I guess I'll probably tell him. I don't know if he's in the call.
He's here.
I'm here.
Oh, hey, there you are. Nah, I'll just keep banning Norska. It's the only faction I really don't want to try out right now.
Guess I'm picking Dark Elves then.
Play Chaos? Dude, you missed it. I played Chaos already. I had a challenger come in with Dark Elves that wanted to take me on, and I won my games. 2 of them.
Nice.
Then I played Uncle Gant earlier. Played Chaos in that one. Pulled that win.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be at first.
Yeah, it was.
I really think if I had swapped one of those cav with the Paladin, it probably could have gone a bit better. They're just
Dark
a lot
Elves.
better at getting hits in on an isolated target than just more cav.
Alright, so we're going to have some counts versus the Dark Elves. And I'm going to switch chats while you guys do your army building. So I will see you guys afterwards. Okay. We'll let these guys do their thing. I'm curious to see what Iron Thunder is going to go for. Having watched Uncle Gant, he's done a lot of matches today. Like, he has completed more of our bracket matches than anyone else on the roster right now. So he's been cranking them out all day. So I've got a pretty good idea of what he likes for his count stuff. But, not sure what to expect from Iron Thunder. I haven't watched any of his games so far for the best of 3 ones. I just got home for the weekend, and today was my first day to really be on because my birthday was Saturday at 2 a.m., so I was out of town for Adepticon and all this good nonsense. But now I am back. I've returned, fresh and old. Love the pipes? Yeah, dog. Everybody loves pipes. Yeah, he memed a little bit too hard. Yeah, he had too many cannons. Yeah, one night. Yeah, I agree. If he had one less cannon, I think he would have been okay. I liked it. He just, with that kind of build, it relies very heavily on being able to do as much damage as possible and like basically remove the cavalry before the gap is closed. And he just wasn't really able to do that. It might have been partly because with the terrain on the sides from the forestry, when the cavalry was pulling through, Uncle Gant did a really good job of getting them obscured in the forests on the hills on the side. So he may have had them targeted, but they might have lost targeting because they might have gotten hidden at one point, and he was just busy like doing other stuff and didn't like put the attack order back on fast enough or something. So it was definitely a great game, really fun. I honestly thought he was going to take it for a while there. The Bretonnian line ground through the flagellants, and he had like a pretty substantial amount of infantry left, but they just couldn't really wrap up that center pocket. And I thought he was going to have it, but once it went further and further on, and like the right side ended up collapsing down, he lost some of that artillery, and then the left side ended up collapsing as well. It just didn't quite happen. Go on, Dark Elves. All right, I think Thran is rooting for our Dark Elves here, so we shall see. Bruh. Okay, so builds here. Uncle Gant is going to be rocking his atypical counts. So he's going for the Necrarch Vampire Lord on a dragon with the Vargeist and Felbat. Also going to have a front line of some Graveguard with the Stearnsmen. So going for the armored line. Some Skelly Spears and Skelly Warriors to kind of soak up some shaft damage. Black Knights on the right flank with a Vargulf as well as 2 Corpse Cards. And the Dire Pack out front. Over here for the Dark Elves, we are going to be seeing a front line of some Blackguard Corsairs and a couple Dark Shards, as well as the flanks being Blackguard of Nagaron, 2 units of Witch Elves at the back, and then 2 units of Cold One Knights as well. His center, he's going to have a Loki or Felhard on foot, as well as a Dark Sorceress on a horse. Very, very interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. A lot of people don't like Dark Shards because they can be compromised, and he has them in the front line, which is very interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to work out. If he's not careful, they're going to get isolated and wrecked on the charge. And he doesn't have spears. So very, very curious. He might be trying to bait with the Dark Shards and then countercharge with his Cold One Knights. Or maybe try and get some Rampage with the Witch Elves, which can be very useful for the Dark Shards. Using them to lure his monsters, lords down, and then hit them with the Witch Elves and cause that Rampage. Yeah, thanks for the happy birthdays, guys. I appreciate it. You guys need to check out the Discord and go back to like Friday night into Saturday morning between like 10 o'clock and like 2 a.m. because apparently I said some real stupid shit and it is hilarious. Meanwhile, over here, Dark Shards do end up with a zombie summon on them, so they are stuck in combat. Witch Elves heading in to try and chew them up. Blackguard supporting that engagement as well. They are getting pretty wrapped up pretty quickly. Dark Shards taking very minimal losses. Only, they are taking a little more HP damage with 1 casualty. 2 casualties. Oh, very nice breath attack going in, though, taking out a lot of the Witch Elves. Dark Shards do get repositioned, so they are trying to drop some AP shots on the Necrarch Lord. Meanwhile, the Cold One Knights sitting here just babysitting this blob so that nothing dives in to try and get the rear charges while the Black Arcs and Witch Elves clean up this zombie patch. Blackguard Corsairs getting a little bit extended out here on the Skeleton Spearmen, and they are going to reroute into some Graveguard. Another Black Arc and Witch Elf heading out to deal with some Skeleton Warriors. I think this is a very dangerous move. He's being a little aggressive with his infantry and rushing up for the fights. On one hand, that can be nice because it creates a big gap for his Dark Shards to maneuver in and his cavalry. On the other hand, there is a lot of mobility here for the Vampire Army that can really capitalize on this very, very spread out opening. He's got the Cold One Knights headed over on the Corpse Cart, which is going to be great for him. He's going to do a lot of damage. However, if he's not careful, a lot of these other units are going to be compromised. But, oh man, Gant is going straight in. He's thirsty. Dire Pack is coming in with the Necrarch Lord, doing a lot of damage to these Cold One Knights. Vargulf coming in as well. Wow, down to 26 models already. However, the Dark Shards are getting some good shots in, refocusing on the Necrarch Vampire Lord. Felbats are in on the Dark Shards. Iron Thunder's really got to get these Cold One Knights to wrap them up. Try and keep his Dark Shards as healthy as possible. But yeah, this Cold One Knight just got absolutely dumped on. 13 models remaining. A lot of the infantry down for the Dark Elves that got out here. The Black Knights and Dire Pack went in to support these fights for the Witch Elves and the Blackguard Corsairs and just absolutely wrecked them. So back here, we still have the Blackguard very, very healthy, as well as some Blackguard Corsairs holding the line. We do have the Cold One Knights up on the Felbats. However, now the Vampire Army is sweeping out in a very wide fashion, coming around the Dark Elf left flank. Again, the mobile units, very, very patient play from Uncle Gant. Kind of looking for some good opportunities to jump on very key units like these Cold One Knights. Again, another goon coming in. The Vargulf is surrounded, but the rear charge from the Vargeist, the Dire Pack, is on a good pocket of the cavalry, and Black Knights are now pushing in to try and get a nice side charge on the Dark Shards. Very, very good. Necrarch Vampire Lord was looking like he was going to head down for an attack, but ends up switching, going after Lokir, getting a very nice charge, knocking him to the ground. A good pickup there. The Cold One Knights are rampaged. Curse of Honor here is down, and those guys are pretty much going to be wrapped up. They're not really going to be able to sustain in this kind of mass blob engagement. So both Cold One Knights getting picked apart very effectively. However, we do still have the Dark Shards, who are pretty safe. They have a lot of ammo. However, there isn't much left to protect them. Blackguard do double back to try and intercept some of this infantry and move to support the Dark Shards, but they do get a, oh wow, horrible rear charge Dark Shard's getting instantly routed, taking tons of damage from a rear charge from the Vargeist. Coming in from the air, Zombie Summon, or nope, Skeleton Warrior Summon, excuse me, on the Dark Shards. And the Necrarch Lord is going to dive in there and cause another Terror rout. So Uncle Gant doing an excellent job of just slowly picking apart Iron Thunder's army. Very, very patient play. And he's managed to basically delete the Cold One Knights and come in and one-shot a lot of these Dark Shards toward the late game here. Sorceress, Lord of Dark, getting caught out by the Necrarch Vampire Lord, is going to be terrified and routed out. And he is going to be losing his caster. So no more Winds Generation or Soul Stealers available. And that puts Lokir alone on foot. Blackguard here taking a ton of damage from rear charges as well. And it's looking like Uncle Gant's going to be taking game one. Unfortunately, the infantry he has left just isn't going to be able to sustain against these kind of numbers. They're tied down in combat. The Corpse Cart is unopposed, and it is going to be providing its little AoE buff. And then the cycle charging from the Vampire Lord as well as the Vargeist just causing massive amounts of damage and leadership penalties. Overcast Invocation going on this thick blob, and that's pretty much going to be it, because this Vargulf is going to be sustaining for a little bit longer than it would have otherwise, cracking out some of these Blackguard and the Blackguard Corsairs. It's going to come down to Lokir, all alone here, fighting for his life with Dreaded Duelist, but army losses are going to hit, and that's going to be GG. Very, very nice. Well played. Yeah, good game. All in all, losing those Cold One Knights to those nuke attacks was very, very bad. That pretty much spelled the end for Iron Thunder's army. He just didn't have any way to pin any of the mass that Uncle Gant had at his disposal, and with that, he was able to just kind of fly around with his Vargeist and his Dragon and just start rear charging and terrifying everything else out. So definitely very well played. So, yeah, Iron Thunder has the option now where he can either pick and ban a faction, or he's able to yield that over to his opponent if he wants to go for more of a counter pick. Problem there, of course, as most of you know, if he yields the pick and ban, he doesn't get to pick his stronger faction. He's relying on Uncle Gant's pick being able to be outplayed by his counter pick. So I think Iron Thunder's probably going to go for a pick and ban here versus trying to rely on the old counter pick. Oh, I love coffee. I switched to decaf for this cup. 5:30. Probably shouldn't drink more coffee. I do have to work in the morning. A little water too. All right. So Iron Thunder is going to be going with greenskins, and he is going to be banning the Dawi. Uncle Gant is going to be going for Empire as his counter pick. Curious to see how this one's going to go. Pretty sure Iron Thunder is a good greenskin player, but don't think I've seen Gant play Empire. I think he's been practicing on trying some new stuff. Got any black shirts? Talking about me? Do I have black shirts? I do. I have black shirts. His special power is being clothed. Well, you know what? My special power comes from the man meat. The wonderful ground beef. All right. Yeah, there's a few of these games that we're doing that I missed that I wasn't able to cast. But I have a lot of the replays, so I'll probably do some of the best of threes for my YouTube channel. Numenarch 2-shots dragons. What? Wait, that sounds like some straight up dark elf nonsense to me. Such a witch elf. Oh, gotta have another tattoo. Little arrow on my arm. I have a matching one with my old best friend. She got it on her foot. Luminarch is perfect sniping tool. It is. Luminarch's a very good sniping tool. Templehoff, man, you get that bound net. Way to be. Try to come in and goon it, and you just net them. And you shoot them in the face with your magic. Tzeentch's many gifts. Oh, speaking of, so you guys know exactly how much of a tryhard I am for Tzeentch. This is my Magnus. I painted him. Demon Primarch of the Thousand Suns Legion. He is a champion. This is probably my prized model that I painted. My best dude. VP. This is my hero. Rex House. Alright, so for the armies. What's on his boobs? Massive nipple horns. Because like I said, Tzeentch's many gifts. Anyways, Frontline for the Empire here by Uncle Gant. Going to be intermixing Sigmar's Sons and Swordsmen with Flagellants. Backline is going to be a couple units of Spearmen to provide some anti-large and charge defense. Each flank is going to have one unit of Reiksguard. He's also going to have the Silver Bullet Handgunners as well as a unit of Free Company Militia. He is going to have Volkmar the Grim on his chariot, as well as a Foot Empire Captain and an Amber Wizard. Amber Wizard is going to be on horse, and he is going to be rocking Manticore summons as well as Wild Form for the extra armor and defense. He also has Blast, so he might be able to get some good minor with blasting charge damage on a unit early on. And he has another Free Company militia as well. So very, very nice. Very curious to see how this is going to work out. Greenskins over here going very, very wide, very zergy. So infantry-wise, Orc Biggins and Black Orcs. He is going to have Skarsnik as well as a Night Gobbo Shaman, a whole bunch of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and some Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And as we begin, these Free Company militia are probably going to be very, very shot up. Immediately trying to fall back. Reiksguard pushing up right away to try and support and keep them safe from mass charging. Backlines, though, we have some Goblin Wolf Riders being sneaky as well. Some Nasty Skulkers. We've got Moon Howlers as well as more Nasty Skulkers all the way out on the flanks. Don't know how I feel about the Nasty Skulkers being all the way out there because it's going to take a while for them to get into the fight. But Reiksguard coming in here. Curse of Anrahir going down for the speed decrease. Reiksguard coming in for a nice rear charge. Going to be doing some decent damage. But the Black Orcs are here kind of interrupting that charge. And then Orc Boar Boy Biggins are going to be coming in as well. They're going to be getting a rear charge on the Reiksguard. And the damage that he got on the Forest Goblin Spider Riders is kind of going to be negated by the fact that this Reiksguard are kind of getting a little bit shit on right now. Orc Boar Boys tying them down. Black Orcs on the left flank. Right flank is going to have some Orc Biggins that are taking a substantial amount of damage. Volkmar pushing through right away to try and charge into Skarsnik. Wa is going to be going off here. We're going to have the Boar Biggins coming around from the right flank to support as well. More Reiksguard are in the blob engagement. So Cavalry, one unit down, but the other one is still at half health. Wasan's Wild Form as well as Grand Hammer and the Battle Prayer going on. Hammer of Sigmar. Lots and lots of attack, but in the back line, Orc Biggins wrapping around the flank. Free Company militia turning about to try and drop some shots on them, but they are going to definitely make combat here. Reiksguard being pulled back to try and intercept this and force them off of his Free Company. Silver Bullets still very healthy, very uncompromised, but Gobbo Wolf Riders coming in the back line to try and change that up. One of the units of Orc Boar Boy Biggins has been terror routed and taken out. Banishment going down here, doing some very solid damage on the Orc Biggins. And then again, all of these Spider Archers are just kind of sitting out here, dumping some shots into this mess of infantry and whatnot. Volkmar is still hanging tough with the Grand Shield and Hammer of Sigmar, providing lots of buffs for his melee units, tying down these Black Orcs, as well as Skarsnik, who is at half health with an Empire Captain hot on his heels. So looking pretty good up here for the Empire. Meanwhile, in the back line, a lot of the skirmishers compromised. We've got one unit of Free Company militia tied up by some Orc Boar Boy Biggins. One of the Moon Howlers and Orc Biggins trying to take down this Free Company militia, but they are surrounded by Spearmen as well. Reiksguard coming in to try and push these Moon Howlers off. And Black Orcs have punched right through the front line, and they are tying up the Silver Bullets. Amber Wizard popping that Power Stone for the extra regen. Wow, very nice shot there. Taking some damage off those Black Orcs and just skipping right off into space. Unfortunately for the Greenskins, the Night Gobbo Shaman and the Black Orcs at the core have been eliminated, and that is going to leave Skarsnik all by himself, surrounded by the Sigmar Sons to try and take these guys out. Black Orcs being chased off by some Flagellants as well as Swordsmen. And it's looking like these Black Orcs are going to be all on their own here as Volkmar charges through, and he's going to have some Spearman support. Nasty Skulkers coming out of the woodwork, looking to push up on the Free Company militia, but they are having none of that, running out of there, being intercepted and saved by the Swordsmen and Spears. And they're going to be getting shot in the rear. Nasty Skulkers taking a lot of hits from the Free Company militia, but another unit coming in from the back line, hoping to get into some of the Free Company and Silver Bullets. The rallied Orc Boar Biggins going in there to support as well. Out here, we do have some rallied Orc Biggins and the skirmishers trying to take out Flagellants and Swordsmen. Unfortunately, Skarsnik is being chased off by Volkmar. This Empire Captain did a very, very good job of just kind of laying the smackdown on him, chasing him around that entire engagement. Night Gobbo Shaman has rallied. He's sitting back there with his Vindictive Glare, and it looks like he just tried to overcast and took himself out. So he ends up routing himself with an overcast Vindictive Glare. The miscast doing tons of damage, down to 168. Still a lot of skirmishers left for the Greenskins, but they are running fairly low on ammo. The Forest Gobbo Spider Riders are over here trying to intercept the Sigmar Sons and Empire Captain, try and get Skarsnik out of danger. But it doesn't look like it's going to be working out too hot, as Skarsnik is still pinned. Main body fight being carried by Volkmar. The Spearmen are tying up the Black Orcs. Only 27 left. Orc Boar Boy Biggins do get on top of the Amber Wizard, and they're doing a very good job. Lots and lots of damage, but some Free Company are safely out in the pocket. Getting lots of skirmish fire over the heads of their brethren. And yeah, it's looking like army losses are going to kick in very shortly. Volkmar basically untouched, doing his battle prayers and Grand Hammer, providing lots and lots of buffs for these spearmen, keeping them in the fight for a very long time. The Imperial Chaff Infantry doing an excellent job with Volkmar's buffs of tying down a lot of this, like, just better infantry, like the Biggins as well as Nasty Skulkers. And, oh, there we go. Very nice Soulfire. Doing lots of damage. Bound Banishment cracking out and instantly routing out the Nasty Skulkers and the supporting infantry. And that Banishment literally kicked army losses in. That was fantastic. Very, very well done. So very good games for Uncle Gant and Iron Thunder. Gant is going to take the series with a 2-0. I will update that score whenever I find it, of course. And Iron Thunder takes that 2-0. Yeah, Volkmar's really strong. He, a lot of people think he's a meme, but honestly, like, I think Volkmar's pretty fucking awesome. Bit of a powerhouse. But yeah, really well done. 105 kills on this Black Orc and whatnot, but his buffs were just keeping these spears and swords with the flagellants, like, in the fight for so long. Like, look at the health on these guys versus the infantry they were coming up against. Really, really impressive. All right. What's next? Coming in. Who thirsty? Hop on over. All right, gang. What's next?
Is Zootron still around up for matches?
I'm
I
not
think he's the
sure if
last
he's
one on my
around.
list.
Wait, he's the last one for you to play? Have you done
At
all
least
of them already?
that have been around today.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn. Because you've got a ton of them done so far. I think you've played them all.
Fuck you.
Wow,
Hey, what up,
this
King?
guy. Wick, were you gonna play next?
I'm watching about it right now. I'm thinking about going to make some food.
Okay.
I can play if you want.
You don't get to. You're not XMT,
Fuck
King.
you,
You're not
fucking
XMT.
User clan bitch.
Get out of here, Emma. You
Eat
wench.
shit, bitch. You eat shit. Pipes is laughing his high ass off. Right?
Start.
Just leave.
I moved him.
Wow, where'd you move him?
And then he clicked the wrong chat. What a guy.
Oh man. Let's go, champ.
Give me a sec,
God.
non-champ. My God, you're so. Oh my God, every single fucking
Could you
time.
guys stop making sounds like that?
Shut up. Like, for real, dude.
Like wicked.
Like, wicked, like, could you shut up your mouth, wicked, like.
Lick your nipples.
What? Flick your nipples?
What's going on?
Looking like Rightist is currently in first place.
I thought the one was your last batch pipes. That shouldn't have any more.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. Well,
Yeah,
I'll play
man.
tomorrow and Tuesday. How long do we have to finish this, Halo?
There's no set time.
Okay, yeah, I'll finish it this week.
I mean, I can keep playing. It's just I'm not gonna be on my best performance.
This doesn't really matter. It's not like to be like, hey man, like, you know.
Yeah. I don't mind. I mean, I don't expect me to be like try hard though.
Yeah, I will hate you if you set up on the hill. By the way,
I'd rather
I'm
play
probably
when
not,
I'm
actually.
not like tired because I hate feeling like I should force playing. It's just not fun. It's like legitimate rape.
I will force you on my penis if you don't shut your mouth.
Wow.
To be
Yeah,
honest,
I said it.
just because of tournaments and stuff, like I can't. I really don't like playing with my builds
Right, exactly.
on stream.
Yeah. No, and I think it makes complete sense to not do that. If you want to do it off stream, you can.
Yeah, I'll be trying off
No
stream.
one will ever share your builds except if they pay $5.99.
Oh, Heylow, did you like my build against Pipes Dwarves?
Yeah, I actually did.
What did you bring?
I brought my maximum single entities allowed by the couple rules of Vampire Count Army.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was 2 zombies total for infantry, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's finally figured it out.
Oh my god, I just got hit by like a wave sweep.
Falcon says he doesn't care if anyone sees what he plays as. He's gonna smash it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm not Falcon.
That's fair. Neither am I. All right.
You know who I am?
This?
Neither. Did Iron Thunder win?
No, Gant won that one 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, you guys go hard, man. I gotta go easy.
Damn bats.
Gotta go easy in the paint. I need to get I need to relax, which never happens. Pipes knows. I had to leave the chat earlier just because I hear the fucking dwarves screaming into my headphones like constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll have you guys know the Empire Captain on Foot actually did something this time.
He did.
Yeah, against Greenskins, I could see that working.
Yeah, he beat up Skarsnik.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right, I think I'm gonna call the stream for now.
Sorry.
Bye, guys.
See you, man.